A lot of people don't understand, including myself, I didn't, now I do, the impact of having a stroke.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
It's a new life, but I'm gonna make it better. Coming back. Ask your doctor, check your blood pressure.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
This is what it's all about, right?
We are going to the Super Bowl!
The pure joy.
It's a great time to be alive for Seattle fans.
It's why we're 12s.
Super Bowl, baby, let's go!
And Sunday, when history is written in Super Bowl 60, isn't there only one voice you want to hear tell the story?
The one-hander, JSN!
Wherever you are on Sunday, listen to Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, live and free on the KIRO Newsradio app.
Your local volunteer fire department routinely answers the call, whether it be a fire, traffic accident, or a cat stuck in a tree. But because of declines in memberships, departments have become understaffed. Your local volunteer fire department desperately needs you. Can you direct traffic, install a smoke alarm, help at a fundraiser? No matter what skills you have, you can make a difference. You don't have to fight fire to be a volunteer. Will you answer the call? For more information on how you can help, visit the Volunteer Firefighter Alliance at supportvfa.org.
The G and Ursula Show.
There's two types of people. One's that use a washcloth. The other are bare hand bandits.
Hate to break it to you, but...
Ursula, you a bare hand bandit?
Weekdays 9 to noon. Watch live on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gordon Christensen, and if you're a dentist as I am, or you know a dentist, please take a moment to listen. When I became a dentist, I learned how quickly poor oral health can lead to other serious health problems. And for people without access to care, these problems can spiral very quickly. I wanted to help, but I wasn't sure how I could until I joined Dental Lifeline Network. It's a nonprofit that has helped us literally change the lives of people in our communities. DLN asked dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need in your area. It's very simple. DLN screens those in need and coordinates an initial appointment that takes place in the comfort of the dentist's own office and on their schedule. Right now, there's a wait list for patients in need in your community. I'm asking fellow dentists who will join me in seeing one patient per year.
Learn more about Dental Lifeline Network at willyouseeone.org. That's willyouseeone.org.
A lot has changed in 50 years. The Seattle skyline, how we interact with one another, and a new way to hear the Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can listen to Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Super Bowl for free.
That is music to the ears.
It's the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60. Kickoff Sunday at 3:30 on the only station the Seahawks have called home for 50 years. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at storycorpsconnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It is 5:10 on your Thursday. I'm Manda Factor. A security guard was shot in downtown Seattle last night. It happened just before 11 o'clock on Western Avenue near Marion Street. Police say the 21-year-old was hit in the groin. Firefighters took him to Harborview. His injuries are not life-threatening. Witnesses told police there are 2 or 3 male suspects. No one has been arrested. And we now know the names of both teenagers killed at a Rainier Valley bus stop last week. The King County Medical Examiner yesterday identified 18-year-old Tyjon Stewart as the second victim. The first is 17-year-old Trovea Hefmoose was identified on Tuesday. Both deaths have been ruled homicides. Both were students at Rainier Beach High School, and no arrests have been announced. Chief Sean Barnes is urging anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers.
Let us know what you think you may have solved, because it could be the missing piece to a very, very big puzzle.
On the G and Ursula show, he also had a message for gun owners.
Do not leave your weapons in your car. Last year we had 206 firearms stolen from motor vehicles.
Barnes says those weapons often end up in the hands of young people. He's also calling for the return of school resource officers to Seattle campuses. The trial of Andre Carlo, accused of brutally beating a trans woman last March in the U District, is underway. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch was in court.
Day one began with attorneys on both sides delivering opening statements, what they believe the evidence will show. Then, after lunch, the victim, Andy Hosepel, took the stand and described the beating she took by 4 men, she believes, because she's a trans woman.
They were holding down, me. I was trying to cover my face. I was trying to plead for them to stop.
Carlo is charged with assault and a hate crime. The trial is expected to last at least a week. At the King County Courthouse in Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
It's 5:12. This is not the news we wanted to hear this morning. Standout rookie Seahawks safety Nick Eamon-Warry is now limited with an ankle injury. We're told he was hurt in practice late last night. Eamon-Warry missed almost a month at the beginning of the season for another ankle injury, but has gone on to become a finalist for NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Here's Coach Mike McDonald.
You can see the physical talent, physical ability, but his eagerness to learn and the sense of urgency, for detail, and his hunger to be great really stands out.
And the good news, the team does not seem concerned about quarterback Sam Darnold, who had an oblique injury earlier in the season. Seattle Times business columnist John Talton has died at the age of 69. The Times reports he passed away January 28th from organ failure related to a long history of spinal cord tumors. He was only 69. In addition to his long career in journalism, he also wrote 14 detective novels. And the only store on Anderson Island is now closed. The News Tribune reports the general store and gas station shut down Tuesday after nearly 50 years. Dwindling sales just couldn't cover the cost of keeping it open. That leaves 1,500 full-time residents without a place to buy gas, groceries, or fresh produce on the island. Now they'll have to take the ferry to Stillicum for just basic supplies. The impact will be even bigger in the summer when the island's population tops 5,000. It's 5:13 on your Thursday morning, and time to get you on the road. We check traffic, and Chris Sullivan is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Amanda. We're off to a very good start. No issues there across the board. All green and freeway speed everywhere, even through the Olympia area up to Tacoma. It's only a half an hour on that drive. And then Federal Way to Seattle's running at 35 minutes or less. Puyallup to Renton, 35 or less as well. Just a little bit of slowing through the ramp meters, and then Renton to Bellevue's under 15. Coming down from the north end, nice and easy. Only 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Thank you. Clouds this morning, sunshine this afternoon. Again, another warm day up around 60. Still looking for the same deal tomorrow. And then Saturday, we're going to see the rain pick up throughout the day, 53. Still showers on Sunday with highs back to the low 50s. Right now in Seattle, it's partly cloudy, 40, very foggy in spots, so watch out for that. Coming up, G. Scott checks in from Radio Row in the Bay Area ahead of Super Bowl 60. That's next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
This is what it's all about, right?
We are going to the Super Bowl!
The pure joy.
It's a great time to be alive for Seattle fans.
It's why we're 12s.
Super Bowl, baby, let's go!
And Sunday, when history is written in Super Bowl 60, isn't there only one voice you want to hear tell the story?
The one-hander, JSN!
Wherever you are on Sunday, listen to Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, live and free on the KIRO News Radio app.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Big tax changes this year could mean a bigger refund, and Jackson Hewitt knows how to get you your biggest. You'll get $100 just to try us. That won't make you filthy rich, but definitely gas plus groceries rich. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back, which would make you low-key loaded. Or at least wealthy adjacent? Go with our trusted pros and get $100 to switch. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Get ready, because it's here. The first huge public online auction of the year from James G. Murphy Company, February 5th through 10 a.m. Thursday, February the 12th. We're stacked and packed with a vast assortment of heavy construction equipment, trucks, trailers, and more, like 17 excavators, 6 dozers, including a 2012 John Deere 700K XLT, 4 wheel loaders, a grader, a 2021 Kenworth T270 propane delivery truck, a 2023 Volvo Auto Transporter, 6 Peterbilt 567 tractors, 6 dump trucks, forklifts, boom lifts, loaders, graders, and utility trucks. But wait, there's more. Like over 100 unused gas-powered excavators, flatbed trucks, and on and on. We are on fire with gear. Preview all items Tuesday and Wednesday, February 10th and 11th at our location in Marysville. Do not miss the first huge public online auction of the new year. Check MurphyAuction.com for all details. MurphyAuction.com.
Our First Mark Challenge victory is Aaron McCoy from McCoy Home Solutions, yet another small business owner that took the First Mark Insurance Challenge. Aaron, what was the initiative to make that call?
I've got something worth preserving for the sake of the people that I serve and my family. So it's important to me.
What did you learn through the process?
The experience with First Mark has been highly professional, informative individuals that have helped me from personal to professional insurance, life insurance, policies, coverage, cyberspace. Things that I was afraid to approach were pretty easily approachable.
How would you say their customer service has been, Aaron?
Absolutely 10 out of 10. I just couldn't say anything higher about First Mark. They've executed very well on as many levels as I could rate them.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Well, getting ready for Super Bowl 60.
Is it game time yet?
It's not game time yet, Manda.
Patience has never been my strong suit.
No, clearly not. It is not a strong suit for G. Scott either. He is down on Radio Row getting ready for the Super Bowl. Good morning, G.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Yesterday was great. I was busy all day yesterday, and I thought I wanted to give you guys some sound for you to hear that I think is important. I caught up with Seahawk legend Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson had some things to say. Check this out.
I really hope we win. I think we're gonna, but I really hope for the 12's sake we get this, especially with what happened, a decade ago, 11 years, whatever it's been. I really hope we win. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. Will this, if they win, will this help you and some of your teammates?
No, but there's a but here. There's a caveat. I think it'll help the fans. I don't think it'll help the guys on the team. Like, I'll be happy for Seattle. I obviously love John Snyder. I the whole front office, everybody in the building. I'll be thrilled for them. But I'm thrilled for the fans. I do think it'll help a little bit.
You know what I loved about that answer? It was the most honest answer that I've heard so far from Seahawk legends and past players. I loved, he could have mailed it in by saying, oh my goodness, this would be so great for the former players. This would be awesome. He was like, no, but it'll be good for the fans. And he's right. He's not wrong at all, because we as fans, we have not gotten over it. And them as players have not gotten over it. Well, we as fans have an opportunity to have that loss in Super Bowl 49 avenged. And, I need it. You need it. Everybody needs this.
All right, G, you're hobnobbing with Seahawks players all the time. How is it different being there?
The energy, Manda. I'm glad you asked me that, because a Super Bowl is only 60 minutes of football on the field. However, a Super Bowl is way more than the 60 minutes on a football field. It brings everyone together. Even if you're not a fan of the Seahawks or the Patriots, you're still invested in this game. It doesn't matter what culture you're from, what background, what political affiliation. It is bringing everyone together. And down here right now in the Bay Area, everybody is talking about one thing. It's the big game that's getting ready to happen. Everybody is excited. Whether whoever you believe is going to win or lose, that doesn't matter. Everybody's connected, Manda and Charlie, on this one game, and the energy's crazy. The streets are crazy. Like, it's starting to fill up. It's Wednesday morning right now. I noticed this morning that it took a little longer to get my coffee than it did yesterday. I said, people are starting to really get in town right now. Okay. But, hey, just so you guys know, the Seahawks, Seahawk fans, they be here representing, baby. Come on now. Hey, I had somebody call from across the street. They said, hey, G. Scott. I said, oh, man. You know it's packed if they recognize me. I'm just a little old guy out here. You know what I mean? So it's been great.
I love it when they be representing, G. My question for you. My question for you.
Don't try that again,
I know Sully scratched his head at that one.
So you spoke with, I think he's your favorite Seahawks QB of all time, Matt Hasselbeck. That was a fun interview to listen to. Who are you still hoping to get in the days ahead?
Well, tomorrow I'm going to have Jermaine Kearse on the show. Might as well talk to him. And, I could sit here, like there's been some other folks that I've interviewed and talked to that I'm probably just going to leave for the reset and the podcast. I think for the listeners, that KIRO listeners that are listening to our station, I think right now they want to hear from past players who played it, right? And you got the sound of some of the current players and all those things. But you really want to key into, hey, look, Jermaine, that was a big one. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? So that'll happen. So I'm looking forward to talking to Jermaine Kearse. And I got a text in. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, Doug Baldwin ain't returned my text back, so I'm mad at him right now. I'm about to call him up and tell him, you take it too long to return my text the same way Charlie takes too long to return my text.
How dare you make G wait?
I know. Good things come to those with patience.
And then he always try to pretend like, I was asleep at 5:30 p.m.
Well, that's kind of true, actually.
Yeah. Well, right. Manda, you look great in your Seahawks stuff.
Thank you. Got a new hat. Yeah. I'm excited.
Manda.
I see it.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have to stop chatting about our attire because you have to be excused. Have a great day. We'll look forward to chatting again tomorrow.
See you guys.
G. Scott, G and Ursula coming up 9 to noon.
It's 5:23. Check on our forecast. Pretty much the same as yesterday. Clouds and fog this morning. Sunshine for the afternoon and a high of 60. Tomorrow looks the same. Looks like we're going to start to see some rain on Saturday with highs back to the low 50s. Right now in Seattle, it's partly cloudy and 40 degrees. And coming up, KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey has some history behind the Seahawks' iconic logo. That's next on Seattle's Morning News.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligament and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I want to do.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's no championship league for small business owners. But if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement?
Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700. DayandNight.net.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:30. I'm Manda Factor.
CBS News Brief. A plea.
President Trump gave a wide-ranging interview to NBC News. The president reacted to the expanding criticism of his immigration crackdown in Minnesota. We get more from CBS News White House correspondent Nancy Cordes.
I have done nothing wrong! A startling admission from President Trump about Minneapolis. In an Oval Office interview with NBC News, Trump was asked what he learned from the controversy.
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough.
A one-line mention in the governor's calendar will have basketball fans perking up. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson is meeting with NBA Commissioner Nate Silver today. The meeting was a late addition to his schedule. No details on the purpose released. KIRO News Radio has reached out for more information. The governor is also meeting with Oregon's governor and then heads to space company Blue Origin. Republican lawmakers have been holding informal listening sessions on two high-profile initiatives that have been blocked from getting hearings. One would rewrite a previously passed Parents' Bill of Rights. The other would ban trans athletes from competing in high school girls' sports. Representative Drew Stokesbury is the House Republican leader.
We did our best to try to find a representative cross-section of those opposed to the initiatives because we think the public has a right to hear folks with opinions talk about why their view of the initiatives is correct and let the public make informed choices.
Democratic leadership says they won't hold hearings, so the measures will automatically go to the ballot in the November general election. A second child has died from flu in our state. According to Kitsap Public Health, a young child died last month, marking the second pediatric death this flu season. No other details were given. A yearly flu vaccine recommended for people 6 months and older, and it's not too late to get one. Flu activity peaks in winter and declines in the spring. A 29-year-old Alaska man is going to prison for 18 months for sexually assaulting a 17-year-old girl on a flight from Anchorage to Seattle. Authorities say on that flight in January of 25, the girl woke up to find Trayton Ballett rubbing her thigh. At his sentencing yesterday, the victim called what he did predatory. A change is coming for shoppers at Whole Foods stores. And KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon with details on their palm scanners.
Amazon is pulling them from all stores in June. The palm scanners let customers pay for groceries by hovering their hands over the scanning station at checkout. Amazon didn't say why it's nixing the system, but promises to delete all customer data after the scanners are discontinued.
It's 5:33. That's time for a check on traffic now. And Chris Sullivan is watching the early drive.
What's a palm scan? Like they take your biometrics?
Yeah, you just hover your hand right over the reader.
So you had to give them your palm print?
Yeah. They say they'll delete all the information they've collected, but yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to Whole Foods either.
That doesn't surprise me.
I know. Yeah, Trader Joe's or
Where
Whole
exactly
Foods.
do you shop?
Safeway. Fred Meyer. Okay. I'm a simple man. We are starting to see a little building volume on the Valley Freeway, primarily between Auburn and Kent, and then a little bit more at the north end. You're going to need about 40 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's about 15 after that. Olympia to Tacoma is only about a half an hour. Tacoma itself is quiet. Starting to see just the slightest hesitation past 320th up past the Kent Des Moines Road on I-5 northbound. Under 40 to make that trip. Still nothing yet on southbound 5 or 405 pulling away from Linwood. It's only 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Clouds again this morning. Sunshine again this afternoon. We're headed for a high of 60. Same deal for tomorrow. And then the rain is going to develop throughout the day on Saturday. 53 more showers on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 40.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
It is 5:35. As you know, Super Bowl week is here, a week filled with storylines and a whole bunch of 12s ready to make history. And speaking of history, a little history of the Seahawks' iconic logo now from KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey.
Inside his studio on Vancouver Island, Andy Everson uses his art to keep his culture alive.
Deemed to be evil by the church, deemed to be pagan by the Canadian government.
And today, this grandson of a great Quamox chief is reclaiming that history through his work. From colorful prints of the place his ancestors called the Land of Plenty to painting indigenous masks in Seahawks colors.
Kind of meshing all these worlds together for me.
But there's another mask that stands out to Andy more than most. An eagle mask, tracked down by the Burke Museum 3,200 miles away at the University of Maine. Its curved mouth and beak and prominent eye match the Seahawks logo almost perfectly.
Essentially, they just traced the outline and certain elements of that to create the original Seahawks logo.
And it has deep connections.
As Indigenous peoples, we're connected to all of the animals in the land because our people are descended from those animals, is our beliefs.
In 2014, the year the Hawks went to back-to-back Super Bowls, Andy was invited to dance alongside the glass-encased Indigenous mask at the Burke.
And for me, yeah, it's about connecting with our ancestors. It's about continuing traditions.
However, Andy's story doesn't end there.
Goes back inside. Cup makes the catch. Touchdown! Seahawks!
Up until the Hawks' most recent NFC Championship, Andy had never attended a single game. He and his wife, Erin, sat down in front, right behind the end zone.
The noise was kind of out of this world.
It was a moment that bridged two worlds and strengthened Andy's commitment to preserve his culture and honor his past.
The strength of our culture nowadays is a testament to the strength of our ancestors.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey. You can check out more from Luke at mynorthwest.com and also on X at Luke KIRO. Well, the Fan Fest in the Bay Area is drawing crowds from across the country with interactive games, helmet exhibits, Super Bowl rings, and autograph sessions. Seahawks fans are out in full force already, celebrating the team and the Super Bowl atmosphere. With the 49ers out, KIRO 7's Eric Thomas spoke with a fan who's decided to switch his colors.
I'm a Niner fan, but I'm buying a Seattle jersey because I don't like Drake May, and I don't want the Patriots to win. Go Hawks!
I agree. There is some unwelcome injury news in case you missed it for the Seattle Seahawks just 4 days before the Super Bowl. Standout rookie safety Nick Eamon-Warry was limited yesterday after suffering an ankle injury in practice. ESPN's Kalen Kaler, the pool reporter for the Seahawks practice for the Pro Football Writers of America, wrote that Eamon-Warry was hurt late in practice while defending a pass. He did walk off the field on his own. Eamon-Warry missed nearly a month near the beginning of the season because of an ankle injury he suffered in Week 1. And while we are all focused on the Super Bowl, another sporting event, the opening ceremonies for the Olympics take place tomorrow. Thousands of athletes from around the world have gathered together to compete for the 2-week international sporting event. CBS News correspondent Seth Doan is in Cortina and says there have been protests over the idea of some ICE agents being deployed there.
Earlier in the week, Italy's Interior Ministry said that it is ICE's Homeland Security Investigations, the HSI, that's a separate unit from the department carrying out the U.S. immigration crackdown that we've seen in the U.S. They will be operating within U.S. diplomatic missions and are not operational agents. There's no executive function here in Italy.
And CBS News correspondent Seth Doan in Italy. It's 5:39. Coming up, national headlines here on KIRO News Radio.
A lot has changed in 50 years. The Seattle skyline, how we interact with one another, and a new way to hear the Seahawks.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
Download the KIRO Newsradio app. where you can listen to Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman call the Super Bowl for free.
That is music to the ears.
It's the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60. Kickoff Sunday at 3:30 on the only station the Seahawks have called home for 50 years. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Around here, rain isn't a surprise. While others run for cover, Seahawks fans step into the storm, game day ready. And the Pro Shop is how.
Ball picked up. Witherspoon comes near side. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Seahawks!
Every game, any weather. We got that. Shop official Seahawks gear in-store at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton. Or online at Seahawks.com/ProShop.
Get ready, because it's here. The first huge public online auction of the year from James G. Murphy Company, February 5th through 10 a.m. Thursday, February the 12th. We're stacked and packed with a vast assortment of heavy construction equipment, trucks, trailers, and more, like 17 excavators, 6 dozers, including a 2012 John Deere 700K XLT, 4 wheel loaders, a grader, a 2021 Kenworth T270 propane delivery truck, a 2023 Volvo Auto Transporter, 6 Peterbilt 567 tractors, 6 dump trucks, forklifts, boom lifts, loaders, graders, and utility trucks. But wait, there's more. Like over 100 unused gas-powered excavators, flatbed trucks, and on and on. We are on fire with gear. Preview all items Tuesday and Wednesday, February 10th and 11th at our location in Marysville. Do not miss the first huge public online auction of the new year. Check murphyauction.com for all details. murphyauction.com.
The stage is set to finish by claiming the ultimate prize.
We are going to the Super Bowl!
Seahawks, Patriots in Super Bowl 60, Sunday at 3:30 on the KIRO Newsradio app.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope, included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
Draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
3-time Grammy winner, MacArthur Fellow, a voice the Associated Press calls a marvel. Cecile McLaurin-Salvant brings jazz, blues, and fearless originality to Dimitro's Jazz Alley, February 12th through 15th. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Gray whales are back in the Salish Sea. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds. Don't miss Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
CBS News Brief. Savannah Guthrie and her 2 siblings have posted a video with an urgent plea for the return of their 84-year-old mother, Nancy, kidnapped from her home in Tucson last weekend.
We live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive.
President Trump tells NBC News it was his idea to scale down the number of federal agents in Minneapolis.
It didn't come from me because I just wanted to do it. We are waiting for them to release prisoners, give us the murderers that they're holding, and all of the bad people.
New research finds just how prepared your child is for kindergarten could be linked to your income. CBS's Michael Toscano.
The report notes low-income children often have less access to experiences that boost school readiness and are behind the other kids.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
This is KIRO News Radio. Our forecast, clouds this morning, same pattern, sunshine for the afternoon and warm, 60 for today. Tomorrow looks just the same, and then Saturday the rain is going to pick up throughout the day. A little cooler, high 53. Still the showers will hang around on Sunday, and it looks like into the first part of next week as well. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 40 degrees. Coming up, former State Attorney General Rob McKenna weighs in on the way our state Supreme Court justices are appointed and potential legal pushback to Washington's proposed income tax. That's next on Seattle's Morning News.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar today at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer, how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar today at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar today at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO Newsradio.
Washington's Supreme Court is set to see another shakeup with Justice Barbara Madsen announcing her retirement this week.
So once again, it'll be up to the governor to appoint a justice to take that open spot. That makes, by my count, 4 spots opening this year.
Let's get some legal perspective from former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning.
Rob, the latest retirement happened right after I done a commentary talking about this. Give us a perspective here. Some of these spots will be filled by an appointment from the governor. Others will be running for election. What should we as voters, as citizens of Washington, make of this?
Well, what we're seeing is a long-term trend in our courts in Washington, not just at the state Supreme Court, but at the superior courts and the courts of appeal, where justices or judges run for election and then they run for re-election, which means, hey, I'm asking the voters to have an opportunity to serve for another 4 years or another 6 years in the case of the Supreme Court. And then many of them resign before the end of their terms. So they throw the decision of who replaces them to the governor instead of to the voters, and then that person who's appointed, as Justice Mary Yu's appointee faces now, stand for election, but they stand for election as an incumbent. So it's a very different situation than where someone finishes out their term and the voters get to decide who will replace them without an incumbent in the office.
Do you have issues with the way we do things?
I think that it's concerning that even though from the beginning of our state's history, we decided we want to be able to elect all of our judges, that what used to be a very occasional event, a resignation midterm, has now become a regular feature of our judicial system. And that, if you're running for election to another term, then you're telling the voters, I'm going to finish this term. Now, if you give up your seat partway through to run for another office to seek another opportunity to serve, I think that's different. When you're running and then resigning just because you find it's most convenient for you to leave, that's not what you told the voters you were going to do. I think voters might react differently if they knew someone was running and did not intend to finish their term when they sought re-election. There's actually been polling on this that indicates that a very large majority of voters do not like this practice of running for re-election and then not finishing a term.
And this is important because the court has some big cases they're going to be considering in the coming years, including what's almost certainly going to be the state income tax going in front of the Supreme Court at some point in the coming years.
Oh, that's exactly right. And in your column, Charlie, you pointed out other major decisions of recent years, like the Blake decision, which threw out all the simple possession drug convictions. I think you also noted that a majority of justices currently serving on the state Supreme Court were appointed originally, not elected originally. And, looking across the state, there are very large numbers of Superior Court judges as well who fall in that category. I think at one point recently, the Spokane Superior Court featured 2/3 of judges who had been appointed by Governor Inslee, originally not elected. So this has just become accepted practice. And, as you noted in your opinion piece, it kind of takes some of the democracy out of this process, which is baked into our Constitution.
Speaking with former State Attorney General Rob McKenna, Rob, what would be the legal reasoning behind a challenge to the proposed income tax on millionaires?
Well, in 1930, voters of the state amended our Constitution's definition of property because they wanted the property tax to reach more than just farmland and residential property and commercial buildings. They wanted it to reach intangible forms of property too, like stocks, bonds, and other forms of income. The Supreme Court has consistently, over a series of cases over many decades, ruled that this broad definition of property clearly encompasses your income because the Constitution defines property as everything, tangible and intangible, subject to ownership. Well, income is part of everything. It's an intangible, and I think we all believe we own our incomes. And so you can have a tax on income in our state, always have been able to have one, so long as it follows the rules for property taxes, which means it can be no higher than 1% per year, and it has to be uniform, it has to be a flat tax. Well, proponents of income taxes have for many decades tried to get around that they try to get around it by passing income taxes that don't amend the Constitution. And then they've tried, to do it the right way 4 times by sending constitutional amendments to the ballot that would exclude income from that definition of property, which is how other states with broad definitions of property have been able to enact progressive income taxes. Every time since the mid-1930s that an income tax measure has gone to the ballot, it has been defeated by the voters, including all 4 proposed constitutional amendments. And the fact that the legislature sent 4 constitutional amendments to the ballot is a pretty clear indication that it's understood that income is property, and for a progressive income tax to be enacted, you need to amend the Constitution.
All right. Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna joining us this morning. Rob, thanks for your time. Oh, what's your Seahawks prediction?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can't let you go without that.
I think we win by at least 10 points, but I also think it could be conceivably even the kind of blowout we saw when we played the Broncos. I just think our team is that much better than the Patriots. So I'm going big here, guys. Going all in.
Go big or go home.
You should see the cringing going on in this studio. The fear of the jinx is real.
Oh, come on. Let's have some confidence and not be superstitious. We've got a team that's peaking in momentum. We got the best offense, the best defense, the best special teams. And, the Patriots, God bless them, they played one of the weakest schedules in the NFL last year. You know all the arguments. And this has the feel that we had when we went into that game against the Broncos and blew them out. So not predicting a blowout, but I think we're going to win by double digits.
Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna, hopefully not jinxing anything.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
It's now 5:53. Much more on the Super Bowl coming up throughout the morning here on Seattle's Morning News. Well, nobody is above the law. Not billionaires, not the powerful, nobody. Those are the words of a member of Congress demanding answers from Bill Gates, whose name turned up in the Epstein files.
Gates tells Australia's 9 News he was foolish to spend time with Jeffrey Epstein, but says he only had dinners with him, never went to his island, never met any women there.
The more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Now, U.S. Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina is calling for Gates to be subpoenaed to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee. On X, she writes, quote, "If these allegations are false, Bill Gates should have no problem saying so under oath before Congress." Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
It's 5:54. A check on the weather. Our same pattern is with us. Clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, headed for a high of 64 today. Tomorrow, same deal, overnight lows in the low 40s. And then Saturday, the rain will be developing throughout the day, high of 53. Showers continue Sunday and Monday as well. Right now, it's partly cloudy and 40 in Seattle. Coming up in the next hour, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey gets us prepared for Super Bowl 60. He has some fun predictions this morning. Also, Chris Sullivan has a choke point. The laws around motorcycle driving on the shoulder of highways may be changing in our state. He will explain. We'll get to all the day's top stories. Our inbox is always open for your news, tips, and story ideas at mynorthwest.com, and you can contact the show by texting 888-973-5476. This is KIRO News Radio.
We knew the foundation was strong.
Last year, everything was new.
But this?
We are going to the Super Bowl!
Doubters? What doubters?
We did not care.
We've been playing dominant football all year.
Now, the stage is set to finish by claiming the ultimate prize. Seahawks, Patriots in Super Bowl 60. Kickoff with Steve Rabel on the call. Sunday at 3:30 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Download the KIRO News Radio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO News Radio app.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there. It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Get ready, because it's here. The first huge public online auction of the year from James G. Murphy Company. February 5th through 10 a.m. Thursday, February the 12th. We're stacked and packed with a vast assortment of heavy construction equipment, trucks, trailers, and more, like 17 excavators, 6 dozers, including a 2012 John Deere 700K XLT, 4 wheel loaders, a grader, a 2021 Kenworth T270 propane delivery truck, a 2023 Volvo Auto Transporter, 6 Peterbilt 567 tractors, 6 dump trucks, forklifts, boom lifts, loaders, graders, and utility trucks. But wait, there's more. Like over 100 unused gas-powered excavators, flatbed trucks, and on and on. We are on fire with gear. Preview all items Tuesday and Wednesday, February 10th and 11th at our location in Marysville. Do not miss the first huge public online auction of the new year. Check murphyauction.com for all details. murphyauction.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
Olympic Hot Tub is celebrating Seattle's championship football team and the big game day ahead with a massive blue and green savings blitz. Get champion level wellness a huge savings. Score big on saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges. Hey, it's Ryan Roland Smith. Let's make wellness and feeling terrific part of your everyday game plan. Don't let the clock run out. These winning deals end Sunday. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life. Go Seattle.
Old windows cost you money and security. Lake Washington Windows and Doors installs energy-efficient, high-security windows that lower your bills and increase protection. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Choose LakeWashingtonWindows.com today.
3 more days until Super Bowl 60. The only station where you hear Steve Label call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. We begin with new hope for U.S.-Russian relations hours after a 50-year-old nuclear treaty between the two nations expired. The Pentagon says both have agreed to reestablish high-level military-to-military dialogue. The U.S.-European Command says the breakthrough followed productive and constructive progress at Ukraine peace talks in Abu Dhabi. The BBC's Sarah Rainsford reports from Kyiv.
Prisoner swaps did happen before the U.S. got involved here, and there's no hint of any breakthrough on the big issue at the heart of any peace deal. That is, control over land in the eastern Donbass, where fighting remains intense. Russia demands Ukraine hands over the rest of the region that it hasn't conquered, and Kyiv will only agree to freezing the fighting at the current front line.
Anguish grows as the clock ticks for the family of Nancy Guthrie. The search for the Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother is entering its 5th day. Her 3 children have posted a video.
We live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive.
An Arizona Department of Public Safety helicopter went down while it was responding to an active shooter situation last night. WPHO TV's Gibby Parra.
Unfortunately, we know that a DPS pilot as well as a trooper paramedic that was riding with him both have died after that DPS Ranger helicopter crashed after it was trying to assist law enforcement here in Flagstaff.
A wounded suspect was taken into custody. With all of the snow piled up in the Northeast, the competition can get pretty vicious. Check out what happened in Boston.
Police say Anel Javier stabbed a man who stole a parking space Javier had shoveled out in Dorchester. The victim suffered cuts to his hands, as did a woman who tried to intervene. Boston allows people to use space savers like chairs or traffic cones, but only for 48 hours after a snow emergency ends. The latest snow emergency ended last week. Dorchester State Senator Nick Collins is begging the state to bring in snow melting machines.
The public has a right to expect a baseline of safety.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Drive a Chrysler. More than 450,000 trucks and SUVs are being recalled over an issue involving the trailers. WWJ's Jeff Gilbert from Detroit.
The problem is with a faulty brake light module that could cause trailer lights or brakes to fail in certain 25 and 26 model Jeeps, Rams, and Mopar trailers. That increases the risk of a crash. There have been several hundred reports of failures, but no crashes or injuries reported.
This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
6:03, let's check in with Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
And we're doing pretty good to start this morning off, this Thursday morning. We're looking at some brake lights just here and there. We have primarily up the Valley freeways. You're working your way out of Auburn and then at the far north end, 40 minutes from Puyallup up to Renton. And then Renton to Bellevue is really running only about 15 minutes. Looking at the Federal Way to Seattle Drive, some off and on slowing from 320th up past 272nd, but 35 minutes to make the drive from Federal Way to Seattle. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys. Coming down from the north end, already seeing the brake lights there through the loss of the express lanes. In Northgate, got about 25-minute drive out of Linwood, 20 minutes down into Bellevue out of Linwood. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube, click subscribe, and get fresh video content daily.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, CBS Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. The first big deadline of the legislative session has come and gone, and a lot of bills didn't make it. The Washington State Standard reports several high-profile proposals died yesterday without a committee vote. Among them, a bill to require overtime pay after 32 hours of work, essentially a 4-day work week. A measure to block police departments from hiring new ICE agents also stalled.
So did bills aimed at protecting kids online, including one requiring parental consent for minors to create social media accounts. And a proposal to add tribal members to the Fish and Wildlife Commission won't move forward this year. Bills that survived still face some more hurdles, including another deadline Monday and a full floor vote by February 17th.
Republican lawmakers have been holding informal listening sessions on two high-profile initiatives that have been blocked from getting hearings. One would rewrite a previously passed Parents' Bill of Rights. The other would ban trans athletes from competing in high school girls' sports. Republican Representative Drew Stokesbury is a House Republican leader.
We did our best to try to find a representative cross-section of those opposed to the initiatives because we think the public has a right to hear folks with opinions talk about why their view of the initiatives is correct and let the public make informed choices.
Democratic leadership say they won't hold hearings, so the measures would automatically go to the ballot in the November general election.
The trial of Andre Carlo, accused of brutally beating a trans woman last March in the U District, finished day one yesterday. KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch was there.
Day one began with attorneys on both sides delivering opening statements, what they believe the evidence will show. Then, after lunch, the victim, Andy Hosepel, took the stand and described the beating she took by 4 men, she believes because she's a trans woman.
They were holding me down and kicking me. I was trying to cover my face. I was trying to plead for them to stop.
Carlo is charged with assault and a hate crime. The trial is expected to last at least a week. At the King County Courthouse in Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Copper wire thieves are partly to blame for delays on Sound Transit light rail line between Angle Lake and Federal Way. The trains have been dealing with electrical issues since service began last month. Seattle Times reports thieves are ripping the wires and damaging other infrastructure. Train service will shut down between Angle Lake and Federal Way on Saturday for repairs and inspections.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Amanda, you should probably just say it now.
Well, it's Blue Thursday, and is it game time yet?
Not yet.
Darn
until
it.
Sunday.
Come on. I'm really trying to soak in all of the excitement and the festivities, but I want to watch the game.
Live in the moment.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm trying.
All of us except Sully are in the studio wearing Seahawks garb today.
As it should be, because he doesn't usually.
Yeah, we don't want to jinx anything.
That is my thing.
Yes, so thank you for doing that, Sully. The sacrifices you must make. It is Thursday, February 5th. Thank you for being here. This is brought to you by this hour of Seattle's Morning News, sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
And coming up this hour, Sully, you have a choke point about motorcyclists.
Yeah, whether or not they should be allowed to drive on the shoulder when traffic gets really, really slow.
We'll also talk to CBS White House correspondent Natalie Brand with the latest movements from the Trump administration on immigration enforcement.
It's 6:07 right now. Back to the Hawks. The Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl bound, of course, and this morning we're talking about predictions for the big game.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey here to start us off with children's predictions and animal predictions.
Yeah, we'll get to those in a second, but it is going to be a great morning, folks. First, we've got some headlines for you, though. The Seahawks went back to practice yesterday down in San Jose for about an hour and a half, and safety Nick Imanwori suffered an ankle injury in practice. Reports are that he did it covering a wide receiver. There is video on social media right now showing him limping from a car back to the hotel lobby. That's something we will obviously keep our eye on as we get closer to Super Bowl Sunday. The police chief of Rochester, Massachusetts is calling out Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes on Facebook, promising a Patriots win. Chief Barnes' reply?
Now, Mike, I've investigated some serious crimes in my career, but there's no bigger felony than being a Patriots fan.
There you go. All right, let's do this, everyone.
Welcome to the dark side. When you see that blue and green, know it's my ties.
Happy Blue Thursday, 12s. This morning, as Amanda said, we are talking all about Super Bowl predictions. Tell us your prediction on the text line, 888-973-5476. All right, is there a cuter way to start than kids and animals making their picks?
Nope.
No. There's a toddler on the internet named Atlas who just made his pick between the Seattle Me's, because he says the logo of the Patriots looks like him.
Who's that?
Me.
That's you? You sure?
Yes.
And the Seattle Seals. A lot of kids think our logo looks like a seal, based on, I guess it does, really. And the winner, according to Atlas...
Who's going to win? You or the Seals?
Seals.
The Seals are going to beat you?
Yeah, the Seals. Last week, two internet cats, Ramen and Chimichanga, predicted the Hawks would win the NFC Championship.
Ooh, a win for the Seahawks. Oh, Chimichanga agrees.
All right, this week, Mikey the Turtle made his picks on the point spread.
Who does he like? The Seahawks -5 or the Patriots plus the points? It's the Seahawks.
And so did Lolo the Porcupine, 3 Baby Otters, and Sweet Pea the Raccoon.
It's the Seahawks. It's the Seahawks.
It's the Seahawks.
And here's the reaction from the trainers at Blank Park Zoo. Their lion in Des Moines, Iowa. They set up 2 barrels, and the lion had to pick which barrel and knock it over.
Yeah.
Celebration. You hear the barrel. That's the Seahawks barrel. Pick the Seahawks. Kenya the giraffe. Charlie, I knew you were wondering about Kenya the giraffe at the Gulf Breeze Zoo in Florida. Also picked the Hawks. So did Fiona the hippo at the Cincinnati Zoo, and the Port St. Lucie canine police dog, Bodie, picked the Seahawks. And this just in, we expect a pick from Hadari, the African lion in El Paso.
Oh, I can't wait.
Coming up.
Will you break in when we get that? Because I think that could be what really decides the game.
That is
thank you.
Yep, exactly. And coming up later this morning, though, speaking of pets, all right, everyone listening, we have predictions from Sully's cats, Sammy and Chico, and a different kind of prediction from Manda's 3 dogs. We have the video. It's on the internet right now. You've got to see this, and you got to hear about it. We'll talk about it. But coming up at the bottom of the hour, we've got AI predictions and the weirdest Super Bowl prop bets anyone can make in Vegas this year.
Okay, thank you. 6:11 now. A one-line mention in the governor's calendar will have basketball fans perking up today. That's because Washington Governor Bob Ferguson is meeting with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver today. The meeting was a late addition to his schedule. No details on the purpose were released. We have reached out for more information. Governor Ferguson is also meeting with Oregon Governor Tina Kotek today. Then he heads to the space company Blue Origin.
Seattle Times business columnist John Talton has died at the age of 69. The Times reports he passed away January 28th from organ failure. It was related to a long history of spinal cord tumors. He was only 69 years old. In addition to his long career in journalism, he also wrote 14 detective novels.
Always such a good column to read.
Yeah.
Definitely be missed. Okay. 6:12 now. It's time for a check on the weather. Let's check in with KIRO 7's Nick Allard. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning. It's a really foggy morning. Well, wherever you have fog, it's very foggy. We have a dense fog advisory in effect. That means visibility could be, at around like a quarter of a mile or lower. So keep that in mind. And that's in effect until 9. So yes, very foggy out there. It isn't very bad right now in the Central Sound because you have had a little bit of wind, and that wind is keeping things mixed up, say like in Bremerton or Seattle. With that, you're just not seeing much. But I do expect fog to settle in. The rest of the area, visibility is down in Olympia, it is down in Tacoma, it is down in Snohomish County, so very foggy out there. But all of it lifts, and I expect you will get to at least the upper 50s and lower 60s. So it's going to be very nice again with sunshine. Probably not quite as warm as yesterday just because the fog will help to limit things a little bit in the morning, but I'm fully expecting another beautiful day and another beautiful afternoon with goodness abounding everywhere. Tomorrow, also some sunshine and temperatures in the upper 50s and lower 60s, but then we see rain increasing during the day on Saturday and some blustery weather, and then that rain will stick around into early Sunday, tapering off to showers during the day. So I actually think during Sunday afternoon it will be drier, just wetter in the morning. And then next week, snow levels come down and we'll see some isolated showers Monday, Tuesday, and temps falling back into the 40s and 50s. So here we go.
You know how warm it was yesterday afternoon, Nick?
717 degrees and
Felt
or
like
62. 62 degrees.
It was crazy. In my neighborhood, the ice cream truck was out.
Oh, my goodness.
Seriously?
It was out. I put a picture up on X. The kids were just running to it. You know, they're wearing shorts and T-shirts.
Did they get enough to share?
I didn't get any
ice cream.
They're bringing you some.
Yep, I'll look for that.
All right. It is foggy in a lot of spots. Right now, it's 40 downtown.
It's 6:13. Hopefully goodness will abound on the roads, too. Chris Sullivan has a traffic update.
Yeah, so far it's gooey goodness.
Oh, good.
Like a chocolate chip cookie just out of the oven. Right now,
I'm hungry.
Not too bad. Right past Northgate, travel time only 25 minutes from Linwood down to Seattle, which puts us at about 40 from Everett. About 40 as well from Everett down into Bellevue, as we're starting to see a few more brake lights into and through the Canyon Park area. Rest of the map still pretty good. Federal Way to Seattle under 40 from Puyallup to Renton. Well, actually maybe right on. And then Renton to Bellevue is only 16, 17 minutes. Across the lake, we're doing really well. Nothing on 18 or 16. Olympia to Tacoma is nice and easy at 35 minutes. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan. I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
All right. How many times have you been stuck in traffic and had a motorcycle pass between you and the car next to you, between the lanes, lane splitting, or maybe that motorcycle was on the shoulder?
Too many.
Yeah, scary, and both are illegal in Washington, but that might be changing.
And Chris Sullivan is here to explain.
Now, if you're a rider, you probably don't understand how dangerous it can be to be stuck in slow or bumper-to-bumper traffic. Your engine can overheat, and you're actually at greater risk from being hit from behind in those conditions because people in that kind of bumper-to-bumper stuff maybe aren't paying as much of attention, and you can run right into the back of a motorcycle. That's why you see so many riders breaking the law by lane splitting or riding on the shoulder. And let's be honest about it, too. It also saves those riders a bunch of time. State Representative Ed Orcutt has been pushing to allow shoulder driving by motorcycles for a few sessions. His bill, House Bill 1367, will be heard today in the legislature. It stalled last session, and this was his testimony during session last year.
I don't like lane splitting. I think it's dangerous, and I have concern that somebody's going to get squished between a couple of cars if they're doing lane splitting in that situation. But, you know, they're still trying to hold that bike up. They still got that strain. So what is an alternative solution? And that's what led me to this bill, is to allow the shoulder driving.
Representative Orcutt's bill would allow motorcycles to use the right shoulder during slow traffic, where average speeds have dropped to 25 miles an hour or less. This would only be allowed on freeways or major highways, and riders would not be able to go faster than 10 miles an hour over what the traffic is actually doing. Shoulders would need to be at least 4 feet wide, and riders must re-enter traffic lanes to get around emergencies or debris.
A motorcycle must re-enter traffic lanes if the shoulder is occupied by a parked vehicle, emergency vehicle, tow truck, or other vehicle providing roadside assistance until the motorcycle is safely past the obstruction.
And riders would have to exit from the shoulder at the next off-ramp.
This also says that you have to, at the next exit, where there's an alternative route, then they have to get off. So they can't do this for 20 or 30 miles up I-5.
Riders would assume any liability for damage or injury incurred by traveling on the shoulder under some new provisions put in the law bill that's being heard today. This rider from Abate, Washington, testified last year that he tried shoulder riding where it is legal in Hawaii.
This works. It's safe. And if you've ever seen a motorcycle rear-ended by a vehicle, this is a very dangerous situation. 7 to 11% of accidents with motorcycles are rear-ending. And that may be just a fender bender for a car, but for a motorcycle, it's a life and death situation.
Fellow Abate, Washington rider Larry Walker had this to say.
Getting hit from behind is probably not a really good thing for a motorcycle. This gets us out of that mix and also allows us to keep proceeding forward. Even if a motorcycle is water-cooled, those fans on the radiators are not good enough to keep that engine cool. So this allows us to get airflow across there.
The bill also requires the state to add right shoulder driving to driver's education and the manuals. There would be public education as well. The bill didn't make it out of committee last session, but it has been rewritten to address concerns from the State Patrol and WashDOT. Gets its hearing this afternoon at 1 o'clock.
People are going to die. I hate to be overly dramatic, but when I see the lane splitting, how often do you see that where the motorcyclist just comes within inches of something awful?
It's scary.
Going on the shoulder, any little thing can go wrong. boy, this seems like something really dangerous. I know part of the thing about riding a motorcycle is, you love that freedom and whatnot, but I have a lot of worries about it.
Yeah, that and most of it's coming from the driver's side because we're just not expecting
I don't want to kill
that.
someone.
Yeah, and I don't want to run over, and I don't want to, run into someone as well while they're stuck in bumper to bumper right in front of me. I could see the benefits of this, but I can also see the negatives in a big way because, they're driving someplace you're not used to it. This is allowed in a couple of different states. This shoulder driving, lane splitting is only allowed in California, despite what people think. It is not legal here. We'll see. I know last year State Patrol raised some pretty significant concerns, but those were all addressed in some of the new language that was put into the bill that's being heard today. So we'll see. Interesting idea, but it scares me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, keep us up to date on that, especially because it's been in the legislature before.
Yep.
It didn't pass.
Nope.
But they think they've addressed it.
Correct.
I'm worried.
Well, we'll see. You have time to sign up at the Washington legislature if you want to sign up, yay or nay. It's at 1:00 in the House Transportation.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
It's 6:20 now on Seattle's Morning News. A 16-year-old accused of killing a man in a Tacoma apartment elevator will be tried as an adult. The News Tribune reports Caleb Prince Tramble pleaded not guilty Monday in Pierce County Superior Court. He's charged with first and second-degree murder. The victim was 18-year-old Messiah Washington. He lived on the third floor of the Hilltop neighborhood building with his father. Tramble is being held at Raymond Hall on $1 million bail. A second teenager is also accused in the shooting.
We now know the names of both teenagers killed at a Rainier Valley bus stop last week. The King County Medical Examiner yesterday identified 18-year-old Tyjon Stewart as the second victim. The first, 17-year-old Trovea Huffmuse, was identified on Tuesday. Both deaths have been ruled homicides, and both were students at Rainier Beach High. The school's principal sent an email to families over the weekend letting them know no arrests have been announced.
A Kitsap County deputy used a spike strip to stop a driver doing 110 miles an hour along Highway 3. This happened early Tuesday morning. The spikes punctured all four tires, and the car skidded to a stop near the Anderson Hill overpass.
Hey, show me your hands. Do it right now. Show me your hands.
Car matched the description of a vehicle wanted by Jefferson County police. It turned out the original suspect from Jefferson County had swapped vehicles with another man, and that man was arrested on suspicion of attempting to elude law enforcement.
A 29-year-old Alaska man is going to prison for 18 months for sexually assaulting a 17-year-old girl on a flight from Anchorage to Seattle. Authorities say that flight in January of last year, the girl woke up to find Trayton Ballett rubbing her thigh. At his sentencing hearing yesterday, the victim called what he did predatory.
Washington State has hit a milestone. For the first time ever, the population has topped 8 million. New census figures show the state added about 73,000 people between July 2024 and July 2025. That's a growth rate of nearly 1%, almost double the national average. Washington ranks 7th in the country for population growth. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, California, Texas, and Florida are still the biggest states by far.
We are coming up on 6:23, and that's time to check your early drive. We do traffic every 10 minutes on the threes. Chris Sullivan, what do you have?
Well, first of all, I just want to share a note from Shane, one of our texters from the 360, saying that he's been lane splitting and shoulder riding for 35 years, and he says it's much safer than sitting in traffic. So there's someone who does it. Yeah. I know there are lots of riders out there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this on the was it the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476. Voice to text. Don't text yourselves. That's illegal. I don't want you to talk about a bill by breaking a law.
Yeah.
So be
definitely
smart about
don't do it on your motorcycle.
Yeah. Well, not while riding. No, that would be bad. Multitasking is great. That is probably not. Looking at the drive now, 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, behind schedule by about 10 or 12 minutes. It's about average for what we expect now, coming down with the lane restrictions that we have in Northgate. Coming the other direction, Federal Way to Seattle's a little over 40 minutes, probably 42, 43. Just some off and on congestion congestion past the Kent Des Moines Road, a little bit in Tukwila, and then past the West Seattle Bridge. Really starting to see some red in the weaving and merging of northbound 167 right there at Highway 18. Give yourself 40 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is only about 18, so really not too bad there. The lake bridges are quiet. Olympia to Tacoma is a nice and easy drive as well. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. It's home show season. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving you 20% off, plus 12 months, same as cash financing. Visit them at the home shows or at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Our forecast, same pattern, clouds in the morning, sunshine in the afternoon, and warm, a high of 60. Same tomorrow, and then things will change on Saturday. We'll cool to the low 50s with rain developing throughout the day, showers on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, it's partly cloudy and 40 degrees. Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has predictions heading into Super Bowl 60, and we'll get to your opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News. It's 6:24.
Word here now for the team over at Boss Retirement Solutions. Let me ask you something. After decades of working, saving, doing everything right, how much of your retirement will go to taxes? More than you think if you're not careful. Do you really want to pay 30, maybe 40% of what you've saved? If you're thinking there's got to be a better way, I'm here to tell you there is, but it does take some planning. The secret strategies wealthy families use to reduce their tax burden, well, they're not secrets. And if you have saved more than $300,000, those strategies could work for you too. The team at Boss Retirement Solutions right here in the Seattle area is offering a free retirement tax savings analysis. No obligation. Just a clear look at how much you could keep. Give the Boss team a call at 206-210-1350. That's 206-210-1350. Boss Retirement Solutions, 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Since the beginning, 50 years ago, KIRO has been the only place where the 12s have listened to the Seahawks.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks. Steve Rabel made the catch.
And Sunday, the tradition continues.
The Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
When Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman bring you the call of Super Bowl 60 between the Seahawks and the Patriots. And like every other Seahawks game, the only place you'll hear it is KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hi, I'm Jen from Sky Nursery. If you're like me, you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil. So check out Sky's full schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about pruning fruit trees, tips for roses, a 2-day Wonders of Willow festival, hanging basket workshops, and more. Want to grow your own vegetables? I'll be sharing insights from 2 decades of veggie gardening in the Northwest. Anyone can do it. Learn more and get ready for spring at skynursery.com.
John Curley here. As humans, we value things that last. Local businesses, long-term relationships, people who have been in the community for years. That's Madrona Financial and CPAs. For decades, they've been serving Washingtonians, and what makes them different? They combine taxes and investments under one roof. Most firms do one or the other, but not both. Taxes are often your biggest retirement expense, bigger than travel or healthcare. Yet most never get a clear look at how taxes and investments fit together. That's why Madrona offers the Madrona Analysis. It's an easy-to-understand review of your retirement picture, income, taxes, investments, all working together in one coordinated plan. Best of all, it's conversational. You'll talk with someone who explains it all in plain English. Discover hidden tax traps, see if your portfolio matches income needs, and learn steps to retire with confidence. Call 833-673-7373 for your complimentary Madrona Analysis. Madrona Financial and CPAs, local, trusted, and here to put the whole picture together.
Get ready, because it's here. The first huge public online auction of the new year from the James G. Murphy Company, and it's underway now. We're stacked and packed with a vast assortment of heavy construction equipment, trucks, trailers, and more, like 17 excavators, 6 dozers, including a 2012 John Deere 700K XLT, 4 wheel loaders, a grader, a 2021 Kenworth T270 propane delivery truck, a 2023 Volvo Auto Transporter, 6 Peterbilt 567 tractors, 6 dump trucks, forklifts, boom lifts, loaders, graders, and utility trucks. But wait, there's more, like over 100 unused gas-powered excavators, flatbed trucks, and on and on. We are on fire with gear. Preview all items Tuesday and Wednesday, February 10th and 11th at our location in Marysville. Do not miss the first huge public online auction of the new year. Check murphyauction.com for all details. murphyauction.com. murphyauction.com.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
Is your home uncomfortably cold? It might be because most windows and doors have a huge influence on your home's comfort. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, which can help reduce your energy bills by up to 30%. Combined with our leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, the investment in your home will be protected for life. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
If you've been sitting in traffic long enough to finish a podcast and question your life choices, it's time to flip your trip. Ride transit, find a park and ride, or roll past stress on a bike or scooter. Free yourself from traffic jams at flipyourtrip.org.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:30. Well, experts across the league predict a close game in Super Bowl 60, and Vegas odds makers have the Hawks favored by 4.5.
So what other bets can one make on the big game this Sunday? Well, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with the latest, including headlines.
Yeah, the city of Hoquiam has officially changed its name to Hoquiam. That proclamation coming from Mayor Ben Winkleman. It will last through Super Bowl Sunday. And a lot of NFL players this week are coming out with their own player predictions. Of course, they have all the inside knowledge of all the X's and O's. Josh Allen shared just yesterday he's pulling for the Hawks. He did it on First Things First.
Listen, I got great respect for both teams. But Sam Darnold, that's my boy. I'm rooting for my man there.
There you go. Hey, all morning long, we are all about the predictions, everyone. Amanda, you probably hear this at Lumen Field all the time.
Bring it.
Little Steve Aoki. So how is AI predicting the game? Here we go. Gemini says Seahawks 24, Patriots 20. ChatGPT says the Seahawks are more likely to win. Copilot predicted the Seahawks. And Claude leaning to the Seahawks because of their defense, 27-24. So they're also saying a close game. And now, if you are the gambling type.
Yeah, Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Vegas odd makers have the Seattle Seahawks favored by -4.5 with a 70% implied chance to win outright. But what about those crazy prop bets that you hear about all the time? Yeah, you can bet on the length of the national anthem, the coin toss, the color of the Gatorade at the end of the game. But let's get into the really cool ones. Here's a bet for you. Which Bay Area landmark would be shown first on TV? The Golden Gate Bridge or Alcatraz? What do you think?
The bridge.
Yeah, bridge.
Favored by a mile in that one. Will anyone streak the field? 87% implied probability that it's a
if
no.
If they do, I don't think we'll see it.
No, won't see it.
Ooh, well, now I've got a reason to go.
Yeah.
I can bet on myself to win,
right? Put a lot of money on it. Then a cruel bet is floating around in Vegas. Will the Seahawks attempt to pass from the opponent's 1-yard line?
Come on.
Vegas put heavy odds on a no on that one. You know, well-known sports gambler Billy Walters. He wrote a book. I read it. It's pretty good. Made one of the biggest bets ever placed on Super Bowl 44.
I bet $3.5 million on the Super Bowl.
$3.5 million, and then he put another $3.5 million in prop bets because, as gamblers know,
if you find something 2 points off, it's a mountain. This game was 7 points off.
There you go. Finally, there's a prop bet in which song will be sung first by the crowd. Will it be this one?
Sweet Caroline.
Bop, bop, bop.
Good times never seem so good.
So good. Okay. Or will it be this one?
Country roads, take me home.
If you've been watching the NFL in Europe, you know they like to sing this in the crowd. But, you know, Patriots fans, they like Sweet Caroline.
Hold on, this is my favorite part. Oh, you cut it out.
Mountain Mama, Take Me Home?
Yeah.
That's
West
your favorite
Virginia,
part?
Mountain Mama. Come on.
Have you ever been to West Virginia?
No.
I have. It's beautiful.
Okay.
It's beautiful there. Coming up at 7. All right, we ready for prop bets then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with Neil Diamond.
Yeah, not bad. Coming up at 7. Last week, I asked all of you in the studio to videotape your pets making a Super Bowl prediction. Sully's 2 cats, Sammy and Chico, made their picks. Amanda's dogs also got into it, including a murder mystery. We're going to play that for you coming up in the next half hour. You do not want to miss this.
All right, Luke, thank you. Let's head over to Sammy and Chico's papa, Sully, at the traffic desk.
Yeah, they're listening right now, as they do every morning while they're doing their chores. So, yeah, it'll be good. I'm sure they're excited for that. The drive now, up over 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Probably about a 12-minute delay. Just the usual stuff we've gotten used to. Further north, there's a little slowing in Marysville, but it's manageable. Lake bridges are fine. Federal Way to Seattle, lighter than normal, running right around 42 minutes. Valley Freeway, not quite 45 yet. It's heavy in Auburn, but it loosens up quickly. And then at the north end, it's not as bad as it could be. The Renton S-curve starting to activate just a little bit. We're under 20, though, to make it from Renton to Bellevue. We've got a nice and easy drive from Olympia to Tacoma, under 35 minutes as well for you guys. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Live professional boxing back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino. Main event powered by WFC February 6th only at the Emerald Queen, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Still unseasonably warm today. We'll be up around 60 in the sunshine in the afternoon, getting through some thick fog in spots and some clouds this morning. Tomorrow looks pretty much the same, and then Saturday we're going to start to see some rain again. It will develop throughout the day, a high of 53. We'll see rain Sunday morning, tapering off to showers by afternoon. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 40.
6:35, time for the opening bell report. The EEOC is investigating whether Nike has discriminated against white workers.
The federal agency says it's looking into systemic allegations of DEI-related intentional race discrimination against the sportswear giant's white employees and job applicants. Yesterday, the commission filed a motion in federal court asking a judge to force Nike to comply with a subpoena. Nike says it has already provided thousands of documents and will continue to cooperate with the EEOC. The company calls the investigation an unusual escalation. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The only store on Anderson Island in Pierce County is now closed. The News Tribune reports the general store and gas station shut down Tuesday after nearly 50 years. Dwindling sales just couldn't cover the cost of keeping it open. That leaves 1,500 full-time residents without a place to buy gas, groceries, or fresh produce on the island. Now they're going to have to take the ferry to Steilacoom for basic supplies. The impact will be even bigger in the summer when the island's population tops 5,000.
A change is coming for shoppers at Whole Foods stores. KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon with details on their Palm scanners.
Amazon is pulling them from all stores in June. The Palm scanners let customers pay for groceries by hovering their hands over the scanning station at checkout. Amazon didn't say why it's nixing the system, but promises to delete all customer data after the scanners are discontinued.
A major company is phasing out something that's been around for more than a half century.
Minute Maid helped make orange juice a year-round morning staple back in 1946 when it began shipping cans of frozen juice all over the country, and it was popular for decades.
On a morning like this, you're not focusing on the fine points of frozen orange juice.
But now the brand's parent company is halting sales of frozen juice concentrates in the U.S. and Canada, saying it wants to focus on the fresh juices that customers now prefer. Minute Maid's frozen juices, including several varieties of OJ, lemonade, and limeade, will be discontinued by April. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Yum Brands is closing 250 Pizza Hut locations, about 4% of its U.S. store system, as it tries to right itself. Pizza Hut has turned to Tom Brady after its U.S. sales fell 5% last year.
Pizza Hut! Mom!
roughing the passer.
Shake it off, Gramps.
Get our biggest pizza for the biggest games. The Big New Yorker for only $10. Don't forget the pizza before the...
Did we just give a free ad to Pizza Hut?
Pretty much.
Okay. The company calls this new strategic plan Hut Forward.
And also called Tom Brady Gramps, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe nothing wrong with that.
An issue involving trailers is prompting the recall of more than 450,000 Chrysler vehicles.
The trailer lights and brakes on these vehicles can fail, increasing the risk of a crash. No real-world crashes have been reported. This involves several 25 and 26 model year Rams, as well as newer Jeep Cherokees and Wagoneer S's, along with certain Mopar trailer modules. The problem traced to a faulty brake light module.
That's WWJ radio reporter Jeff Gilbert.
Lawmakers had questions on Capitol Hill yesterday for Waymo and Tesla executives after some close calls on the roads as the technologies continue to expand. Waymo operates robo-taxis in 6 U.S. cities already, with plans to expand to at least 10 more. Here's CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
You've seen the viral videos, self-driving cars not following the rules of the road. This Waymo in Phoenix ended up on the tracks of the city's light rail. And in Austin, the autonomous robo-taxis have racked up at least 24 tickets for not yielding to school buses, prompting questions from lawmakers for Waymo's head of safety.
We have already incorporated many changes to our software to dramatically improve our performance.
Last month, a Waymo in Santa Monica hit a young girl who the company says darted out from behind a parked car. The Waymo slammed on its brakes. She suffered minor injuries.
Trading's underway on Wall Street, and stocks are lower. The Dow down about 235 points, almost 0.5% at 49,266. S&P 500 down 38, and the Nasdaq is down 129.
When it comes to your dog's meals, what you don't know can hurt them. Not getting the right nutrients can cause issues like broken bones or heart trouble. Before you take their diet into your own hands, KIRO 7's Monique Ming-Lavin is taking a closer look to help you weigh the best option for your pet and your wallet. Plus, one vet shares what could help your pup live into their 20s. Tonight at 5:30 p.m. only on KIRO 7 TV.
It's 6:40. What's coming up in traffic, Sully?
Well, it's going to be the talk coming down away from Linwood. The normal stuff. We're losing time. We'll break it down next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know where we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going. I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you have two choices. Handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? call CAR.
For almost 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me, John Curley here. If comfort and energy savings matter to you, now is the time. Save up to $2,000 on a new Lennox heating and cooling system. Home Comfort Alliance will replace your system with one tailored to your home's layout and energy optimization. Visit homecomfortalliance.com to save up to $2,000 on a Lennox and schedule a free consultation. For heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical, call the Comfort People. Home Comfort Alliance.
6:43 now. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan.
And we're getting closer to an hour drive from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. We're not quite there yet, but definitely 35 to 40 minutes away from Linwood. For I-5, it's a really good drive till you get down to about 145th before you really start hitting it. For those of you on 405, it's right away from Linwood, off and on, all the way down through 522. The Renton to Bellevue drive, starting to see a little bit more action there. 25 minutes on the drive. Once you're past 30th, though, it's a really clean drive the rest of the way up. Little over 40 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. The heaviest spot there right at Auburn. Federal Way to Seattle also about 45. Just some congestion. You're not going speed limit the whole way from Federal Way to South Center. Then you get a nice long freeway speed gap. Then you hit it again. Across the lake, still doing really well. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, we're seeing clouds and pretty thick fog in spots this morning. Otherwise, another sunny day and oddly warm, 60 the high. Tomorrow looks the same, and then Saturday, that's when things will change. We'll cool off to about 53, rain developing throughout the day. The showers continue Sunday and into Monday as well. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 40.
Coming up, what we're hearing about supposed plans for ICE to build new mega warehouses for immigration detention across the U.S. We're joined live by CBS White House correspondent Natalie Brand. Coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
It's a new year, which means a new opportunity to grow your business. WaFd Bank Business Checking can help you hit the ground running. Our accounts are designed to help business owners like you manage cash flow, pay vendors, and keep operations running smoothly every day. Get access to digital tools like bill pay, mobile deposit, signer and non-signer debit cards, and the option to upgrade your account as your business grows. WaFd business bankers get to know you, so when you need help, we're there for you. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700.
DayandNight.net.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This is the city's longest-running radio news show. Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
6:47 now. A lot of movement happening with President Trump's immigration policies this week. A battle in Congress over regulations for the Department of Homeland Security. A proposal to build massive warehouses for immigration detention. Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, ordering the reduction of federal immigration agents in Minneapolis.
Well, let's break it all down now with CBS White House correspondent Natalie Brand. Natalie, good morning. Why don't we start with discussions?
Good morning.
Let's start with the discussions in Congress. What can you tell us?
Sure. Well, we have a little more than a week now before funding for the Department of Homeland Security is at risk of expiring once again because, the lawmakers, their compromise last week was that they would use this time to negotiate some real reforms regarding immigration enforcement tactics. But at this point, it looks like, Republicans and Democrats could still be a far ways apart on what they'd like to see change. We know that Democrats have been very vocal and clear about what they are demanding, an end to roving patrols, tightening rules around warrants. They also want, all officers to be wearing body cameras, and they want masks to come off. Some of those issues have already sparked pushback by some Republicans regarding, say, masking and warrants. What we did learn is that starting this week, all officers in Minneapolis will get body cameras, and the Department of Homeland Security is saying that will expand as more funding becomes available. So there's some common ground there, but on these other stickier issues, warrants and others, it could take a while to negotiate.
What are Republicans saying about this?
Well, again, there's a variety of views among the Republican conference on Capitol Hill. Last week we heard a lot of Republicans expressing that they were unhappy with what was going on in Minnesota and Minneapolis, and the president himself has expressed that. So there is a recognition that some things definitely need to change, but when you get down to the details of exactly what, we have heard pushback from some, regarding things like changing rules around needing to get a warrant, from a court to arrest undocumented migrants. And then again, masks. Some say, well, the Border Patrol officers and the immigration enforcement officers are at risk themselves, that, we've seen and heard the rhetoric against them, and that there is a reason that they're not fully identifying themselves. But, Democrats have been really clear and united in what they want, and they do not seem to be budging on those key points.
We're hearing reports, Natalie, that ICE is planning to build what they're calling mega warehouses for immigration detention. What do we know about that?
We know that there's been, complaints about space constraints in a number of jurisdictions, and I'm not aware of all of the plans of the Department of Homeland Security on these warehouses, but, this topic is obviously dominating a lot of attention right now in Washington, D.C., particularly on Capitol Hill. What we have heard kind of change over the past couple of weeks, especially since the border czar, Tom Homan, has been on the ground in Minnesota, is that there's this new focus on really going after those with criminal records. And while he said anyone in the country illegally could be on the table, there seems to be a renewed focus and new messaging by the administration about really targeting, those with criminal records, with crimes committed, or suspected of crimes, and that's kind of the new focus, and more cooperation with local jurisdictions, jails, and law enforcement to try to get those who are already in the system.
Multiple reports out over the past 48 hours or so, Natalie, about the president's growing discomfort with how extreme some of these crackdown methods have been. What are you hearing about that?
Well, we heard from the president during this interview yesterday with NBC News, kind of an acknowledgement that they need to be have a softer touch. He said that they still need to be tough, but have a softer touch. And when he was asked specifically about, the shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minneapolis, he said that they shouldn't have happened, and that expressed that the administration and that ICE officers themselves feel bad about this. And, so there is a clear recognition. We saw this starting last week, this tone shift by the administration. And that's really the reason that Homan was sent on the ground to try to de-escalate things and be the liaison between the administration, local and state leaders. But we've also heard the president, defend the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, even though, CBS News has reported she was facing some internal scrutiny in the aftermath of the shooting, particularly of Alex Preddy and her response to it. But, since then, even this morning at the National Prayer Breakfast, the president has defended Secretary Noem, saying, that the border numbers are down and that she's doing a good job.
We only have 30 seconds left. I know you're on the other coast right now, but with your ties to the Northwest, can we count on the fact you'll be rooting for the Seahawks on Sunday?
Of course I will be, and I know it's a big day and a big game for you guys. So best of luck to the Seahawks.
What's your prediction?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, that's tough. I've learned in politics and sports, I can't predict anymore. I've lost my touch on that.
Well, I don't blame you.
Maybe the next time you're on TV, you can wear a little green and blue, and we'll know that's your nod to us, Natalie.
Noted.
Okay.
Noted. Good idea for tomorrow. All right. Be watching tomorrow.
Take care. Natalie Brand from CBS News. It's time to check in with Sully for traffic.
So far, we're a little lighter than normal across the board on this Thursday, which is pretty good. Maybe that means all of Puget Sound is heading to Santa Clara, and they're already there, so that would be great. But we are looking at about an hour drive now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, maybe a little bit under, with about 40 of those minutes from Linwood. And of course,
it's a reminder that, yes, it doesn't get there very often, and only when it really has to.
Before 7 a.m., like clockwork, we're hitting this $15 max coming down those express lanes out of Linwood on 405. Rest of the map, we're at 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. That's about 10 or 12 minutes faster than normal. Renton to Bellevue is under 30, which is great. We're under 50 from Puyallup to Renton, probably right around 45. Olympia to Tacoma has no issues, and the Lake Bridges are fine. This report brought to you by the Seahawks mobile app. Download the app today and keep up with the action all season long.
Same pattern, clouds in the morning, some thick fog in spots, but then sunshine again and warm, 60. Same tomorrow. Saturday is when we're going to start to see some rain again. Right now, partly cloudy and 40 in Seattle.
And coming up next hour, Super Week underway down in San Francisco. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more predictions ahead of Super Bowl Sunday.
If you want to chime in on the show, you can always text the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. That's 888-973-5476. This is Seattle's Morning News.
This is what it's all about, right?
We are going to the Super Bowl!
The pure joy.
It's a great time to be alive for Seattle fans.
It's why we're 12s.
Super Bowl, baby, let's go!
And Sunday, when history is written in Super Bowl 60, isn't there only one voice you want to hear tell the story?
A one-hander, JSN!
Wherever you are on Sunday, listen to Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, live and free on the KIRO Newsradio app. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
Get ready, because it's here. The first huge public online auction of the new year from the James G. Murphy Company, and it's underway now. We're stacked and packed with a vast assortment of heavy construction equipment, trucks, trailers, and more, like 17 excavators, 6 dozers, including a 2012 John Deere 700K XLT, 4 wheel loaders, a grader, a 2021 Kenworth T270 propane delivery truck, a 2023 Volvo Auto Transporter, 6 Peterbilt 567 tractors, 6 dump trucks, forklifts, boom lifts, loaders, graders, and utility trucks. But wait, there's more, like over 100 unused gas-powered excavators, flatbed trucks, and on and on. We are on fire with gear. Preview all items Tuesday and Wednesday, February 10th and 11th at our location in Marysville. Do not miss the first huge public online auction of the new year. Check MurphyAuction.com for all details. MurphyAuction.com. MurphyAuction.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchy's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
3 more days until Super Bowl 60. The only station where you hear Steve Label call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Russia's defense ministry has released a video showing a group of newly freed Russian POWs boarding a bus in Belarus territory after a prisoner exchange with Ukraine. It comes amid word from the Pentagon the U.S. and Russia have agreed to reestablish high-level military-to-military dialogue following Ukraine peace talks in Abu Dhabi. The BBC's Sarah Rainsford reports from Kyiv.
President Zelensky said, look, Russia is not winning on the battlefield, and if it wants that land through military action, it will take Russia 2 years at the current rate, and it would cost 800,000 more dead soldiers. So he's making the point that, Russia's pressure is one thing in words, but in reality on the ground, although there is progress by Russia moving forward extremely slowly, it's costing hugely. And President Zelensky is saying to Ukraine's Western allies, give us more support.
Hundreds of friends and neighbors gathered inside an Episcopal church in Tucson last night for a vigil for their neighbor, Nancy Guthrie. A mother of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie.
I do believe in the power of prayer.
We wanted to show the support that Tucson has for her in the community.
The 84-year-old's been missing since last weekend. Correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti is in Tucson.
Analysis continues. The FBI looking into the IP address of that email. There's also just a lot of question about what other lines of communication were opened up in that letter. It does not appear to be that there is a way for the family to reach out to the abductors at this hour.
President Trump standing behind his Homeland Security Secretary a day after his border czar announced 700 federal immigration agents and officers would be leaving Minneapolis.
Are you going to relieve Kristi Noem of her duties? No. Oh. I said, why would I do that? We have the strongest border in the history of our country.
He spoke at a prayer breakfast today. The British Prime Minister is apologizing to Jeffrey Epstein's victims for choosing Peter Mandelson as UK ambassador to Washington. Those files released last week showed Mandelson maintained his friendship with Epstein after he was convicted of child sex offenses. PM Keir Starmer.
Sorry that so many people with power failed you. Sorry for having believed Mandelson's lies and appointed him.
Mandelson claimed he barely knew Epstein. Pizza Hut fan, it'll be tougher to find a pie.
Pizza Hut!
The chain is closing about 250 stores across the country because of slow sales. Dow down 297 in early trading. This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to CBS Mornings on the go on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's 7:03 Thursday morning. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
All right, here we go. Off to our normal start, coming down out of the Linwood area. We've got 40 minutes from Linwood to Seattle or to Bellevue, behind schedule by about 15 minutes. An hour plus from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, so we've settled right into a typical day there. We do have a crash in the CD lanes. The on-ramp from the northbound 167 to northbound 405 there in Renton, so keep that in mind. The drive itself from Renton to Bellevue is running just under a half an hour. Valley Freeway, 45 to 48 minutes, depending on how you hit the volume in the Auburn area. Right now, it's not too bad. Federal Way to Seattle, about 45 minutes. That's 10 minutes faster than normal. And this just in from the State Ferry Service. The Edmonds-Kingston run is out of service at this point entirely. It's fog. It's just too foggy to get across the sound. So we'll be watching that really closely. I'll let you know when they make any changes in that. But again, it's the Edmonds-Kingston run. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio App. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news right to your phone.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04. The trial of Andre Carlo, the man accused of brutally beating a trans woman last March in the U District, finished day one yesterday.
And we get the update from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch, who was in the courtroom.
Day one began with attorneys on both sides delivering opening statements, what they believe the evidence will show. Then, after lunch, the victim, Andy Hosepel, took the stand and described the beating she took by four men, she believes, because she's a trans woman.
They were holding down, me. I was trying to cover my face. I was trying to plead for them to stop.
Carlo is charged with assault and a hate crime. The trial is expected to last at least a week. At the King County Courthouse in Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
An Alaska man is going to prison for sexually assaulting a teenager on a flight from Anchorage to Seattle.
29-year-old Trayton C. Ballot was arrested on January 15th, 2025. Just over a year later, he's now been sentenced to 18 months in prison for abusive sexual contact on board an aircraft. During the flight, a 17-year-old girl woke up to find him rubbing her thigh. At Ballott's sentencing hearing, she said she was trapped in a small place where she could not defend herself, calling what he did predatory. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
It is the end of the road for a long list of bills at the state capitol. The Washington State Standard reports yesterday's committee deadline killed off dozens of proposals. A bill that would have created a 32-hour work week with overtime after that did not get a vote. Neither did the measures to stop police departments from hiring ICE agents who joined the agency after Trump took office.
Proposals to protect kids online also stalled, including one requiring parental consent for minors on social media. And a bill to ban unauthorized encampments on college campuses didn't advance, despite its Democratic sponsor saying it would simply codify current practice. The bills that did survive still have a long way to go, with more deadlines looming in the days ahead.
A battle over initiatives is playing out in Olympia. Let's Go Washington, a conservative political group, got enough signatures to certify a proposal to strengthen the Parents' Bill of Rights and ban trans athletes from high school girls' sports. Democrats have said they won't hold hearings for either. That's why Republican House Leader Drew Stokesbury says they've been holding informal listening sessions.
Democrats are denying the public this debate because I think because they know they're on the losing side and the public will side against them. But we want to hear from everybody, and we want the public to be able to make up their own minds. And
Progressive groups have put out a number of press releases and virtual media events in opposition. Both initiatives will be on the ballot in November.
One of two teenagers accused of shooting and killing a man inside a Tacoma apartment elevator will face adult charges. The News Tribune reports 16-year-old Caleb Prince Tramble pleaded not guilty Monday to first and second-degree murder charges. The victim, 18-year-old Messiah Washington, lived in the Hilltop neighborhood building with his father. Tramble is being held at the county's juvenile detention center on $1 million bail.
If you live on Anderson Island in Pierce County, getting groceries just got a little harder. The island's only general store and gas station closed this week after nearly 50 years. The News Tribune reports the shop just couldn't make enough money to stay open. Now the island's 1,500 residents will have to catch the ferry to Steilacoom for basics like gas and fresh food. And residents say that ferry is already too expensive and doesn't run often enough. The island's population has jumped 64% since 2015.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
That'll get you ready for some football.
You need cooling, Manda.
I do. It's Blue Thursday, February 5th. He's Charlie. I'm Manda. Chris Sullivan is here checking traffic for us every 10 minutes.
And producer David Burbank here in the studio. And out in the newsroom, we have Jillian Raftery. And picking the music this morning and running the board, Nick Krasia.
We appreciate it. Coming up this hour of the show, we're going to hear about the troubling story of the Zion Society cult. It's the subject of a new podcast titled Gardens of Evil. We're going to check in with the lead investigator in the case against that cult.
And in the 735 commentary, a complicated problem in our state is being given an overly simplified piece of legislation. I'll talk about it in about 30 minutes.
It's 7:09. Super Bowl predictions are rolling in from all kinds of strange places, including from all of us.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with the big reveal on who our pets picked to win the big game.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. This is going to be so fun, and I can only hope that you're watching on the YouTube feed. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to get that hooked up because I've got some injury headlines for you real fast. Hey, we are tracking that ankle injury from Nick Imanwari. Seemed to be seen limping from a car to his hotel lobby yesterday. We're hoping for the best there. Good news, though, the Hawks practiced yesterday, and Sam Darnold said his oblique feels a lot better. On the other side, Patriots quarterback Drake May also practiced with the first team. His shoulder injury doesn't seem to be bothering him. All right. It is Blue Thursday.
Turn down for what?
We're all about the prediction this morning. Tell us your predictions for the game on the text line, 888-973-5476. We really want to hear what you have to say. It's time for the KIRO Newsradio Pet Predictions. I can only hope, again, you got to be watching this. Manda made a video yesterday. The production value is fantastic, by the way.
Credit to my husband, the director.
Very well done. Sound effects, dissolves everything. The video starts. Here we go. And we're going to be playing this on the YouTube feed so you can watch. The video starts with Manda going into a butcher shop. She's greeted by the butcher, also played by Manda, who is wearing a dark, thick mustache, as butchers do.
Manda Factor, the greatest news host in the Northwest. What can I get for you?
Well, Manda explains she needed dog treats for the Super Bowl, so the butcher whipped out some mystery meat, and Manda asked,
Is that duck?
No, it was not duck. It was... Drake May. Manda throws Drake May in a pan, cooks him up, and feeds it to the dogs.
Who wants to eat Drake for the Super Bowl?
Your dogs are vicious, by the way. It's really scary. But wait, there's more. There's also some cheese for the dogs. What kind of cheese, pray tell?
Hey, what kind of cheese is that?
Kraft!
All right, Amanda, so we've got some Kraft cheese and some creepy children laughing at the end of that video.
I don't know the children. My husband found them.
Sounds effects. Yeah, that's creepy. I love that. Thanks for playing along. All right, let's go to now the cutest cat video you're going to see all day long. I promise you. Sully's cats, Sammy and Chico, predicted the game. What he did was he set 2 bowls of food at the bottom of the staircase, and then he let the cats go one at a time.
Coming up first, Chico. All right, dude, who you got? I think Chico picked the Seahawks.
Yeah, he did. There you
go, Chico. And up next in our Super Bowl challenge, it's Sammy taking her own sweet time. Where are we going, kitty? And she picked the Seahawks. Way to go, Chico and Sammy. Hawks all the way, baby.
I love that you did the commentary step by step there, too. That's really awesome.
How many times did you have to try?
I'm not going to tell you. That's the first take.
Very cute.
We're going to get those up on mynorthwest.com so you can see. Hey, again, if you have a fun pet prediction, share it with us in the comments or send it to us. We want to hear from you. Fantastic. Way to play along. Loved it. Coming up at 7:30. How are the moon and the stars? Charlie, I know you're really wondering what they think about this. And the tarot cards. How are they predicting the big game? We're going to get into that. Oh, yeah. And I got
creepy.
I got way into it, too. So here we go.
Thank you. It's 7:12. Let's get a check on weather. It's brought to us by Nick Allard from KIRO 7 TV. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning. It depends on where you are. Some places are very foggy, and some places just look beautiful. The sunrise shots in Seattle have been amazing. You just haven't had as much fog, but there is a dense fog advisory until 9 a.m. So, yes, we have some areas with fog out there. But either way, even if you have the fog early on, it is going to clear, and you will expect to see some fantastic sunshine this afternoon and temperatures that should easily be into the upper 50s and even lower 60s. I mean, I'm thinking a lot of places today, again, could be at around 60, which just sounds awesome. Same idea tomorrow, although I think late in the day you're going to see a few more clouds, and that's all right. And then beyond that, on Saturday, you should have rain increasing during the day on Saturday. It'll be a little breezy as well, and then that's going to lead to some rain early on Super Bowl Sunday that will decrease, so the afternoon does look drier. Looks pretty good, actually. And then it'll be cooler in the low 50s. And then next week, upper 40s, lower 50s. And while Monday and Tuesday don't look all that wet, there would still be a little moisture around. But it's the idea that next week, anything that falls would fall as snow in the mountains. So Monday and Tuesday get at least a little, and even Sunday for sure. And then the rest of the week, next week, I'm thinking you'll see some rain pushed back in by Friday. And that's good news, because that, of course, would also mean mountain snow. So we're on our way back to where we're supposed to be. But we hit 62 yesterday, and we're going to hit about 60 again today and tomorrow. And it just looks really sunny and nice.
Yeah, just remarkable. Thank you. Right now in Seattle, we have a lot of clear skies, maybe a few high wispy clouds. It's
Wispy.
40. Wispy.
Wispy.
Nick just reappeared out of nowhere.
I'm
so confused.
I know. No one's ever really gone. Here I am always.
It's 7:14. Time for traffic now. We do that every 10 minutes, and here's Chris Sullivan.
You want to know how foggy it is over the sound? The ferry service just canceled the Edmond-Kingston run until they get a little bit better visibility over the sound.
It was very thick on my way in.
Yeah, it's in spots, so it's you might be clear in some areas, you might not in the others, as Nick had said. But yeah, they've canceled that one ferry run because they just can't see. That's not safe. The rest of the map, about an hour and 10 from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. We've gotten used to the slowing here. Give yourself an extra 15 minutes, but that's become the norm. The rest of the map is actually a little faster than normal. Federal Way to Seattle's under 50. Valley Freeway under 50 as well. Renton to Bellevue is under a half an hour. So those three routes are about 5 to 8 to 10 minutes faster than normal. Across the lake, no problems. Olympia to Tacoma, nice and easy at 35 minutes. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
7:15 now. It's a story of manipulation and religious extremism hidden in a pristine neighborhood in Ogden, Utah.
Here's a sneak peek of the new true crime podcast, Gardens of Evil, inside the Zion Society cult. It's a new installment from the award-winning series, American Nightmares.
Is good. The Van Beekums had found a community of like-minded people they could lean on for emotional support, financial stability, and to engage in religious fellowship with.
We just thought these are great neighbors and they love us, we love them. And we weren't really biting into some of the weird things that was beginning to happen.
We've all heard the phrase, things are not always what they seem. For Ron and Jackie, the fruit is still sweet, but they're beginning to catch a whiff that something is off. Under the surface, the roots are beginning to rot, and no one could have imagined how rotten things would eventually get.
Well, today we're joined by the detective responsible for unfurling the mystery of the Zion Society cult, Mike King, along with the narrator of the series, our friend Aaron Mason.
Hello. Thank you both for being with us. Hey, Mike, could you give us a little background on your time as a detective? How'd you end up in Utah at the Weber County Attorney's Office?
I'll tell you what, I was having the time of my life. I was actually working, buying stolen cars on the street, had a team that was having a blast. We were doing that high testosterone police work when we were in our 30s. And one day I walked into the district attorney's office and the receptionist said, "Hey, I need somebody to just talk to this woman across the breezeway here, get her information and pass it on." And so, I thought, whatever. I walked over and she, beautiful 21-year-old girl, stood up and confidently shook my hand. And then she said, "Hey, I'm involved in a cult that's sexually abusing kids. Do you have a minute to talk to me?" And that was my introduction and my transfer from property crimes into becoming a cult investigator.
So set the stage here. You learn about this happening, and what do you start learning that became such a concern?
Well, in that first interview, which lasted several hours, it was a brutal interview because not only did we have to make sure that this woman understood that she risked being charged for child sexual abuse, but that we needed to try to extract whatever information we could. And as we started to extract that information, we learned of literally hundreds of rapes of children that were going on. This was a compound of about 120 people in the city. It was not someplace out in the middle of the woods where it's hard to get to. These people had found a way to build a compound of about 14 homes inside of a small neighborhood. And as we dug deeper and deeper, we only saw how much more perverted and frightening this group really was, not only from the doomsday mentality that they had and the possibility that they were stockpiling weapons, but the fact that 32 children were being abused.
Mike, how long did this go on?
Well, we had to move quickly because we were so fearful if it was all true that children were being sexually assaulted. And we had to worry about the fact that they could learn real quickly what we were doing. And so we worked around the clock for about a month before we served the search warrants on that morning. 70 police officers, 70, crashed those homes at the exact moment of 6 o'clock in the morning. And thankfully, we didn't have any kind of tragedy happen.
Aaron Mason is the narrator of the series, a longtime KIRO Newsradio personality.
Hey, Charlie.
Aaron, what drew you to this story?
It truly is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. And Mike wrote a book about his experiences, an investigative memoir. It's called Deceived. And I read the book, and Mike and I got together. And the more we looked into it, like the more I started digging into it, because I wrote and interviewed people and did all that stuff too. And the thing that surprised me the most is, Mike knows just about all there is to know about this case. I now know just about all there is to know. But the people who are involved don't know what. Everybody has this little keyhole perspective into this crazy big story with twists and turns and all kinds of different people involved. So I'm hearing now, the first episode's out already. I'm hearing now from people who are involved in this story, who you will hear in the podcast, who are listening to it. I mean, for the first time, they don't know the things that are in this story that were happening. Even members of the cult. Those societies are so closed off and so controlling, and that's what you do when you want to abuse and manipulate somebody. You isolate them from friends and family, and they, even kids that were in the cult together, don't know what happened back then.
I'm just curious for both of you. You don't dig so deeply into something this dark and troubling and not have it change you. Did it change your path after you looked into it?
Well, I'd love to know, especially for Aaron, but obviously for an investigator. I think people sometimes don't realize the emotional toll that crime is on the investigator. I had children the same age as these children who were being victimized back in 1991. And so I felt all that pressure starting to come on my shoulders. Not only that, but the concerns of how do you get 70 police officers safely into homes that have semi-automatic weapons stockpiled and a doomsday mentality. And I'll tell you, for me personally, had I not had a system of faith and a faith leader to help me kind of sort through some of the emotion, I don't know that I could have done it. And eventually it just led to the point that I focused on the elements of the crime and what I do, and just kind of pushed aside all the seedy, disgusting things that happen. And that's what was done so artfully by Aaron in this podcast, because we acknowledge the ugliness, but we don't delve into it.
Yeah, it's really important for me that people don't walk away from hearing this show feeling icky and gross. Like, we're going to talk about some things that are awful, but the focus for me is the people. The change that this had on me was just to really see more of the wide spectrum of human resilience. There are women who were girls back then who talking to me sometimes was like the first time they talked to anyone about this. There were some really hard no's at the beginning that eventually said, okay, I'll sit down and talk to you. And it ended up being a really cathartic experience for them. And just to see how everyone has kind of navigated that in different ways. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows either. Like, the awful truth of child abuse is that those scars are permanent, and you don't get over it. You have to learn how to manage it and move forward. And just seeing all the different ways people have done that has been really inspiring.
Well, Aaron, I know you've worked on this project for coming on 2 years now.
Yeah.
I've been hearing about it for that long from you. It's incredible that it's finally here. All the buzz I'm hearing about this is absolutely fabulous.
Thanks.
How do we find out more about the podcast? Where do we go?
You can go anywhere you listen to podcasts.
What's it called?
Spotify, Apple, any of those things. It's called Gardens of Evil Inside the Zion Society Cult. And it's called Gardens of Evil because the neighborhood Mike's talking about, where they all lived, the leader of the cult was a retired landscaper, and all their yards were like Disneyland level gorgeous. People would drive through just to look at them. But that facade was really obscuring a nasty rottenness underneath.
Boy, I wish we had more time. I'm going to have to check out the podcast. I feel a little creepy and icky right now,
Yeah.
so I want to listen to it and hear the positive out of it.
Yeah.
Mike King, the investigator on the case. Mike, this sounds really, really important. Thank you for the great work you've done. And we would love to have you back on the show. Just in terms of somebody who can talk about crime with us,
Yeah.
I think, Mike, you do a great job at that.
Mike is incredible at that. And
Okay.
he's donating his proceeds to help child victims
Oh, good for you.
and scholarships for law enforcement.
That's awesome. We'll look forward to chatting again, Mike. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gardens of Evil Inside the Zion Society Cult. All right, let's get a check on traffic real quick with Sully.
Yeah, we are dealing with hour and 20-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with an hour of that from Linwood. So the normal stuff for you guys. Rest of the map faster than normal. Federal Way to Seattle, only 45. 45 as well from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour. Lake bridges are good, though we are picking up a little westbound slowing on I-90 approaching the Mount Baker Tunnel. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Live professional boxing back at the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen. Main event powered by WFC February 6th, only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals.
Pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
Progressive Insurance knows pets, and one of the biggest differences between people and pets is that we don't eat things off the floor. but dogs definitely will. And it makes them so happy, no matter what it looks like, smells like, or what state of decomposition it's in. We all want to go through life that carefree. And that's also why you should get Progressive Pet Insurance, because they eat things off the floor. So protect your pet from all the questionable life decisions they make. You know where they drink from when you're gone, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
At Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, we know that keeping your home watertight and dry is essential to your family's safety and comfort. Having well-functioning gutters prevents water damage to your home and prolongs the life of your roof. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you have two choices: handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700.
DayandNight.net.
Gray whales are back in the Salish Sea. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. Don't miss Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com. KIRO.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:31. Well, as the Seahawks gear up for the Super Bowl, the predictions aren't just coming from analysts and odds makers.
They're coming from tarot card readers and psychics, too. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with more from the supernatural.
But first... Happy Blue Thursday, everyone. The Hawks are going to turn Levi's Stadium into the House of Pain this Sunday, of course. And today is all about Super Bowl predictions. Everyone loves their horoscope to be read, right? Yeah, we all do. I mean, yeah, come on. Yeah.
Creeps me out.
I spent way too much time researching the moon, the stars, and the zodiac and more. And I got to tell you, I'm now into it. So now you're going to be into it. So according to this internet astrologer, when it comes to Super Bowl predictions... Oh, why doesn't this thing work for me anymore? Hold on. Here we go.
Back in 2015, the Patriots did have a little bit of an astrological edge. This time going into it, I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks.
The Seahawks, and this tarot card reader says the same thing.
It does say that the Seahawks is the stronger team.
And there are a lot of water cards in her deck, meaning the Seahawks, and also a strong female presence, which is very powerful.
There's lots of women throughout, like lots of women in the background. Maybe they help manage the team. Maybe they help take care of the team. But they make sure that the cups are full.
Right? Jody Allen, right? Does that make sense? This is why I started getting wigged out on this whole thing. The cards also reveal the Seahawks are more spiritually aligned. But for the Patriots, she says.
And then I come over here to the Patriots, and I see some division. And maybe some bridges that have been burned. I see some players that may have some disconnects with them. I see kind of some darkness, like the devil showed up.
Yeah, the devil showed up. So what about the moon and the stars? You know, for the first time, Charlie, I don't think you knew this, but for the first time in a title game, Neptune is now in Aries. So we got that going for us.
Which means
I had no idea.
Is about to experience more spirituality, more meaning, more compassion.
That's right. A powerful year for Cancer and Leos as well. Jake Bobo is a Leo. Coach Mike McDonald is a Cancer. And remember what he said on the podium after the NFC Championship game.
I'll tell you what. This is the power of 12 as one, man. This is a heck of a job.
The power of 12 is 1, and in numerology, 2026, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10, and 1 plus 0 equals 1. I told you I drank the Kool-Aid.
Now you're freaking me out.
Right? It's weird. It's weird. All right. Finally, and if you're listening, you'll get some of these too. I've got what the Zodiac wants you to do Super Bowl Sunday. This is what you should be doing according to your sign. Now, Jillian and I actually have the same exact birthday, September 13th. We are Virgos. We should be studying the game and the player stats, which I will be doing in the press box. So that kind of adds up, right? Manda, Sagittarius, you should be organizing a party and try exotic, non-traditional tailgate food. So what are you serving?
Easy peasy, something in the crock pot, but I'll make sure I make it exotic now.
Put in some, cumin or something in there. I don't know. Gemini, Nick in the booth is a Gemini. You are supposed to be the social butterfly. You're going to mingle, and you're going to manage the betting pool.
I'll start my own book. How about that?
There you go. I love it. Love it. Start taking the bets. Charlie and David, both Aries. Take charge of the grill and host a high-energy party. Charlie, does that?
I'm going to be smoking some pork butt, and we've got a bunch of people over coming to our place.
Look at that. Creepy.
It's Finally, Sully is a Leo. So is my wife. Go big with a luxurious party setup and make sure you are at the center of attention, my man.
Uh-oh.
Well, I guess I better get the all-meat DiGiorno pizza for Holly and me.
He's going to be fighting with Chico and Sammy for the attention.
Yeah. I think that tracks, though. Coming up, this prediction is making a huge splash. Don't know if you've heard about it. Tom Brady made a prediction. He's going with the Seahawks.
Whoa.
That's coming up.
7:35. Sully has traffic.
To be fair, as a part owner, he probably should root for no one. But it's not like he's skirting the rules in any particular way anyway, or has a history of that. Anyway, Sully has traffic, right? Okay, hour and 15-minute trips now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Nothing unusual about that. The rest of the map, lighter than normal. Under 50 from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's not bad, under 30. And we're under 50 from Federal Way to Seattle. The lake bridges are still good, so all in all, not bad. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio App, listen to your favorite shows, and get the information sent right to your phone.
Clouds and fog this morning, sunshine for the afternoon, highs around 60. It's 40 right now in Seattle.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Time for the 735 commentary. Yesterday was Bill Cutoff Day in Olympia. Plenty of proposals didn't make it. But House Bill 2489, which would fundamentally limit the ability of cities and counties to clear homeless encampments, is still alive. And it's got strong support from prominent Democrats. Let me walk you through what this bill would actually do. Right now, when a city clears out an encampment, they point to things like safety, sanitation, needles on the ground, or just, hey, this is a park and kids need to use it. Under this bill, all of that takes a backseat to one question. Did every single person here have access to shelter that meets the legal definition? And the shelter has to check a lot of boxes. It has to be open right now. No religious strings attached. No sobriety requirements. And they have to let you bring your dog, your girlfriend, and all your belongings. How many shelters meet that standard? Listen to what Redmond Police Chief Darrell Lowe said at a hearing on the bill.
Currently, I don't believe there's any shelter system in Washington that would actually meet these standards.
Think about what this means. A city that wants to clear an encampment from a soccer field where kids are supposed to play. Under this bill, they can't unless adequate shelter exists for every single person there. If the shelter system doesn't meet the legal standard, which police leadership says it doesn't, the tents stay. And this isn't just about downtown Seattle. This bill covers any public property. Soccer fields, school playgrounds, parks. The field where your 9-year-old has practice Saturday morning, no carve-out, no exception for youth sports or school access. The bill does carve out some exceptions for imminent safety threats, blocked emergency access, ADA issues, but those bars are high. A mom who wants her kids to use the swings without stepping over tents, probably not going to qualify. So let's just take a step back. What we're about to make it nearly impossible to clear tents from parks, sidewalks, overpasses, school fields, just about any public space you can name. Okay, I'm not saying we should criminalize homelessness, but can we be honest? This bill doesn't ask anything of anyone. Not treatment, not sobriety, not even an attempt. Instead, we're designing a system that makes living in a tent as comfortable as possible. Bring your partner. Bring your pet, bring your belongings. No rules you don't like, no expectations. Stay as long as you want. What if we took all this energy and pointed it to somewhere else? What if we actually focused on getting people sober, on intensive mental health treatment, on meeting people where they are and saying, let's get you some help instead of waiting for them to ask? Because right now, we don't approach anyone about treatment unless they come to us first. We just let people sit in their addiction, in their crisis, and we call it compassion. Sometimes people need a push. Sometimes the tent can't be more comfortable than the treatment bed. I'm not talking about being cruel. I'm talking about actually helping people get better instead of helping them stay stuck. The easy thing is to pick a side, sweep them all out, or let them stay forever. The hardest thing is to ask what actually helps. A tent in a park with no expectations and no path forward. That's not helping anyone. Not the person in the tent, not the family who used to use that park. We can do better than this. We have to. And that's a commentary for February 5th, 2026. You can text us, 888-973-5476, or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Sully will have a traffic update coming up next. It's 7:40.
Time for a word for the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. After decades of working, saving, doing everything right, how much of your retirement goes to taxes? Well, it's a lot more than you think if you're not careful. We're talking maybe 30, 40% of what you've saved. If you're thinking there's got to be a better way, I'm here to tell you there is, but it takes planning. The secret strategies wealthy families use to reduce their tax burden, well, they're not secrets. And if you've saved more than $300,000, those strategies could work for you too. The team at Boss Retirement Solutions in Seattle is offering a free retirement tax savings analysis. No obligation, just a clear look at how much you could keep. Give the Boss team a call, 206-210-1350. It's 206-210-1350. Boss Retirement Solutions, 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Parango and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Hi, I'm Jen from Sky Nursery. If you're like me, you're itching to get out in the garden and get your hands in the soil. So check out Sky's full schedule of gardening events to help you get ready for spring. Learn about pruning fruit trees, tips for roses, a 2-day Wonders of Willow festival, hanging basket workshops, and more. Want to grow your own vegetables? I'll be sharing insights from 2 decades of veggie gardening in the Northwest. Anyone can do it. Learn more and get ready for spring at skynursery.com.
Olympic Hot Tub celebrates Seattle's star team with a massive blue and green savings blitz. Champion-level wellness at winning savings on saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges through Sunday. Go to olympichottub.com. Better you, better life. Go Seattle.
743, Chris Sullivan has traffic.
And it is super soupy out there, foggy-wise. Jen from Snohomish just showed me some pictures on the drive-in through Marysville, and this is actually impacting the ferry service. Right now, the Edmonds to Kingston run is not operating because it's too foggy across the Sound. It's not safe to operate that. And because of the boat we lost yesterday on the Mukilteo Clinton run, we're seeing 90-minute waits on either end of that route because they only have one boat. They're hoping to get the second one back in service later this afternoon. Over to our freeways, we've got hour and 25-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, kind of settled into what we normally get with a little over an hour from Linwood. So if you've made that drive anytime over the last month, you know what you're getting into. Rest of the map, a little faster than normal. Federal Way to Seattle's running a little over 50 minutes, which is about 10 minutes faster than normal. Right on about 50 from Puyallup to Renton with the brake lights from about 180th on in. And then Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour. Really not all that bad. The Lake Bridges are hanging in there. Eastbound 16's really heavy around Cheney Stadium past 19th. I'm checking into that to see if we have anything other than volume in that area. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Live professional boxing is back with the main event February 6th at the Emerald Queen Casino. Main event powered by WFC February 6th only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Well, the pattern continues weather-wise. Clouds and fog in the morning, sunshine by afternoon, and oddly warm, 60 today. Tomorrow looks the same, and then Saturday we're going to see rain developing throughout the day. 53 for the high, 52 on Sunday with steady rain in the morning, tapering off to showers by afternoon. Right now, partly cloudy and 40 in Seattle.
Coming up, Washington's governor says he cannot support a proposed income tax without some big changes. We'll hear about that with Seattle Times political reporter Shauna Sowersby. She joins us next on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So, hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
For nearly 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me. John Curley here. Save up to $2,000 on a new Lennox heating and cooling system. Schedule your free consultation at homecomfortalliance.com. Call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there. It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, we're nearly halfway into the legislative session now, and the biggest bill proposal so far surrounds what's being called an income tax on millionaires. The tax would affect households that make over $1 million a year.
We told you this week, Governor Ferguson made it clear he cannot support the bill unless he sees some changes.
Well, let's bring in Seattle Times political reporter Shauna Sowersby to break it all down. Good morning, Shauna. Let's get into your article with Jim Bruner this week, breaking down the proposal and the governor's response to it. What stood out to you?
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. There were a number of things that stood out to me. I think, most importantly, it was interesting that, the Democrats mentioned that less than 24 hours before they unveiled the proposal that, they thought they had a good conversation going with the governor. They didn't hear any, feedback on it, that suddenly he's coming out and saying that, he doesn't support it all of a sudden. I think one of the other bigger things that's pretty interesting is, he doesn't think that the tax breaks go far enough in the bill. That was pretty interesting to me. I think, he estimated that, it gives back maybe a 7% tax break back, what he was expecting, while Democrats are saying it's more like 20%. I think the governor is also kind of positioning himself to look more, business friendly in the sense he wants to see more tax breaks go back to smaller businesses, and didn't think that the bill went far enough in that regard. So I think it's going to be a, long battle to get to the end here this session, get this bill to a place where everybody kind of agrees on, that it's in a good position to get passed.
It can't be too long a battle. This is a short session. Are they really going to get it done?
Yeah, that's a good question. I wonder about that myself. I wish I had a better sense on that, but it seems like they're pretty pretty interested in getting this over the finish line this year. So, we'll see what happens.
All right, Shauna, color me skeptical, but isn't this kind of similar to the playbook last legislative session where the governor was like, no, we can't raise taxes. Suddenly it's $9 billion at the finish line.
Yeah, I got to say, I'm right there with you. They're kind of, it appears that he's kind of making a little bit of a political move on this to, be able to win over small businesses, by saying that he's gotten them this big tax break with this. And so, maybe because of, wanting this kind of political ammo for the upcoming elections, maybe that will help them get over the finish line. But, again, we'll see.
So when I got my hands on the draft last week, it ended at basically section 1005. And then the final version, or at least one introduced to the legislature this week, they suddenly have a section 1007. And in this 1007, it is the necessity clause, which basically says, hey, you can't do a referendum on this. What are you hearing about that?
Yeah, so I actually asked that question once that came to my attention that necessity clause was in there. I asked that question to the governor, and he kind of he didn't really answer my question about it at all. He kind of moved on from it. He didn't really have much to say about that. While the Democrats, fully, admitted to it and said that, they are. They realize that they recognize that this is more than likely going to end up as a ballot measure. I think it wouldn't be something through a citizens initiative. I think it would be something through the legislature. But, it seems like they're fully prepped to get that on the ballot themselves and to put that to the voters as well. So, that should be an interesting thing to see happen. They were way more open about it than Governor Ferguson was whenever I asked about that, though.
Well, the great thing about KIRO listeners is about half of them are like, this sounds like a great idea. The other half, they're already preparing their pitchforks and torches for a protest down at the Capitol. Are you seeing that kind of reaction when you read the comments section, when you speak to people about this sort of proposal?
Well, I try not to read the comment section on a lot of stuff, but it seems like, I feel I get that same sense too from people. You definitely got the supporters behind it who say that we have a regressive tax system here in the state, and they're fully prepared to back it. And then, like you said, you've got the other folks who've got their pitchforks ready. They're ready to go to kind of fight this thing. So it's a really interesting dichotomy to see kind of play out, in the state of Washington. And I mean, I'm very curious myself to see how, folks will react to this. Again, like you pointed out earlier, we, what was it, $9 billion in taxes last year that we enacted. So, and, it is surprising to me, I guess, to see people hungry for more taxes in addition to that last year.
Shauna, thanks for the update this morning. We really appreciate your time. Seattle Times political reporter Shauna Sowersby.
Thanks, Shauna. Let's head over to Sully for traffic.
And we are working with hour drives away from Linwood. It's become our new norm, from Linwood down to Seattle or Linwood down to Bellevue. So we're dealing with that. The fog is doing a number on our drive as well, not only with visibility, but it's also caused a couple of ferry runs to stop operating this morning for safety. We just changed the Coopville one. Port Townsend, that's off as well to go along with Edmond Kingston. Mukilteo Clinton, we've got a 90-minute wait. And Amy's just let me know that there's a pretty nasty crash on 104 that's preventing you from getting to Kingston, actually. She's sending me some pictures with a car that looks like a truck took out a power pole. So we're dealing with that over there on that side of the water. Looking at Federal Way to Seattle of about 50 minutes, 55 minutes now from Puyallup to Renton, really heavy from 180th up. And then a half an hour to 35 minutes up from 405, making your way up into Bellevue. And we're definitely seeing some slowing now on eastbound 18 up to the Tiger Mountain Summit. This report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoff gear, custom Simply original designs. Shop in-store, online, enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree at simplyseattle.com.
It's 7:55.
We knew the foundation was strong.
Last year, everything was new.
But this?
We are going to the Super Bowl!
Doubters? What doubters?
We did not care. We've been playing dominant football all year.
Now, the stage is set to finish by claiming the ultimate prize. Seahawks, Patriots in Super Bowl 60. Kickoff with Steve Rabel on the call. Sunday at 3:30 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's no championship league for small business owners. But if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host Hack.
Gray whales are back in the Salish Sea. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. Don't miss Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
3 more days until Super Bowl 60. The only station where you hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Into a 5th day in the search for Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother has produced little new public information, and there's been no apparent response to the video plea from family members. CBS's Andres Gutierrez says there have been new searches at Nancy Guthrie's Arizona home.
When you have a complex case like this, it's not uncommon for them to go back and revisit the scene if there are tips or leads that may let them go back to that home. A ransom note was sent to the local ABC and CBS affiliates, also sent to TMZ. Right now, law enforcement analyzing that note, but they have not confirmed its authenticity.
On the day when the last nuclear arms treaty linking the U.S. and Russia expires, the two countries have agreed to restart high-level military dialogue. Frank Gardner of the BBC.
The fact that there is a personal relationship between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, although that has done Ukraine no favors, in fact, it's been a disaster for Ukraine. But when it comes to the standoff between the world's two largest, most dangerous nuclear weapons powers in that sense, then it's a good thing because there needs to be some trust there.
From the White House, CBS's Nancy Cordes reports on new comments about the Minnesota immigration operation from President Trump.
I have done nothing wrong! A startling admission from President Trump about Minneapolis. In an Oval Office interview with NBC News, Trump was asked what he learned from the controversy.
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough.
In the Pacific Northwest, there's been a court ruling that stands to impact federal officers.
A federal judge in Oregon has ruled ICE agents cannot arrest anyone in the state without a warrant.
The court entered an injunction and ordered the government to immediately, effective now, stop the practice of making warrantless arrests.
Stephen Manning is a lawyer with the Innovation Law Lab, which sued over ICE raids. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
There's an investigation in Flagstaff, Arizona, where two people were killed when a state public safety helicopter crashed while responding to a shooting involving police. KPHO TV reporter Gibby Parra.
As far as the active shooter that was involved in this, that suspect was also shot during this officer-involved shooting. They say that person is going to survive those injuries, was taken into custody.
And checking Wall Street right now, which is making some news, the Dow is down 607 points. The NASDAQ is down more than 300 points. The S&P is down 88. This is CBS News.
Take control of your financial life. Follow and listen to Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
8:03, let's check traffic with Sully.
And our biggest issue today is fog. Not only is it causing issues with our visibility, it's causing problems on the ferry service. We have the Edmonds-Kingston run not operating because of fog. We have the Coupeville-Port Townsend not operating because of the fog. And we only have one boat. That's not the fog's fault on the Mukilteo-Clinton run. And that's causing 90-minute delays on either terminal. And there's also a pretty nasty crash on 104 that's preventing people from getting even over to Kingston. So not exactly a good day for you guys. Now to our map. On this side of the water, we're looking at least an hour and 25-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with an hour and 5 of that out of Linwood. 20 to 25 minutes slower than you might expect. Federal Way to Seattle, though, is running right around 50-55 minutes, which is faster than normal. Valley Freeway, though, up to 35 minutes now out of Auburn. Those last couple of miles are going to be pretty heavy today, but it's not bad from Puyallup up to Auburn, so we're running at about an hour total. Rented to Bellevue, about 35 minutes. There is some slowing on westbound I-90 right as you approach Eastgate. Looking like there might be a little crash there. I'll have more for you on that in 10 minutes. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
8:04 on the Thursday, February 5th, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Well, the first big deadline of the legislative session has come and gone. A lot of bills didn't make it. The Washington State Standard reports several high-profile proposals died yesterday without a committee vote. Among them, a bill to require overtime pay after 32 hours of work, essentially a 4-day work week. A measure to block police departments from hiring new ACE agents that is also stalled.
So did bills aimed at protecting kids online, including one requiring parental consent for minors to create social media accounts, and a proposal to add tribal members to the Fish and Wildlife Commission won't move forward this year either. Bills that survive still face more hurdles, including another deadline Monday and a full floor vote by February 17th.
Republican lawmakers have been holding informal listening sessions on two high-profile initiatives that have been blocked from getting hearings. One would rewrite a previously passed Parents' Bill of Rights. The other would ban trans athletes from competing in high school girls' sports. Representative Drew Stokesbury is the House Republican leader.
We did our best to try to find a representative cross-section of those opposed to the initiatives because we think the public has a right to hear folks with opinions talk about why their view of the initiatives is correct and let the public make informed choices.
We're going to have much more on this with Paul Query of the Washington Observer coming up at 8:15.
The trial of Andre Carlo, accused of brutally beating a trans woman last March in the U District, finished day one. Happened yesterday afternoon, and KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch was there.
Day one began with attorneys on both sides delivering opening statements, what they believe the evidence will show. Then, after lunch, the victim, Andy Hoseppel, took the stand and described the beating she took by 4 men, she believes, because she's a trans woman.
They were holding me down and kicking me. I was trying to cover my face, and I was trying to plead for them to stop.
Carlo is charged with assault and a hate crime. The trial is expected to last at least a week. At the King County Courthouse in Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Copper wire thieves partly to blame for delays on Sound Transit's light rail line between Angle Lake and Federal Way. The trains have been dealing with electrical issues since service started last month. The Seattle Times reports thieves are ripping the wires and damaging other infrastructure. Train service will be shut down between Angle Lake and Federal Way Saturday for repairs and inspections.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
I know you want to ask it again, Amanda.
Is it game time yet?
Not yet.
Darn it.
It's Blue Thursday, though.
Again, I'm trying to soak in all the excitement and take it day by day and enjoy, but I'm just antsy.
And if you've been watching the YouTube feed, we've had a couple comments. Yeah, we're all wearing our Seahawks gear.
Of course.
Except for Sully.
Sully.
Because otherwise that might jinx it. So thank you for not wearing. But that is Manda Factor. I'm Charlie Harger, and got a full studio here. David Burbank. Luke Ducey's in the studio with us. And, of course, across the glass from us is Nick Krasia, who is picking the music.
I haven't heard that one for a long time. Love it.
Little scorpions there.
Thank you. Coming up this hour of the show, our legislative update with Paul Query of The Observer.
And we have Sully with a choke point.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at something that's very controversial for drivers, but not so for motorcycle riders. Should they be allowed to drive on the shoulder during congestion?
All right, and G. Scott is going to check in live from Radio Row in the Bay Area.
All right, this morning we're all about Super Bowl predictions. Two prominent Patriots voices are making waves ahead of the Super Bowl with their predictions.
We get more live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady weighed in. We'll have that in a second. First, though, all eyes are on the Seahawks safety, Nick Emenwari, after he suffered an ankle injury yesterday in practice. There is video on social media showing him limping from a car to his hotel lobby. We are definitely keeping our eyes on that. And a cool story about defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence. He is one game away now from the biggest I told you so with his old team, the Dallas Cowboys. He left the Cowboys after 11 seasons and got into a verbal dust-up with his former team when he said he went to Seattle or came here because he knew for sure he was not going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. Well, the Hawks gave Lawrence the privilege of being the first player off the plane when they touched down in San Jose on Sunday. It's Blue Thursday, everyone. Nervous Thursday. Today we are all about the predictions, and a pair of Patriots made some predictions, one pretty shocking. First, though, Rob Gronkowski, the Gronk, went on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and made his prediction. There's something wrong with my board here, but here we go. I'll fire it again. Here's Gronk. That's not Gronk. Here's Gronk.
Will it be the Seattle Seahawks or the New England Patriots?
Well, I'm going to break the trend of being wrong, and I'm going with the New England Patriots.
Oh!
See the Patriots screwing everything up this morning. That's actually a good thing that he picked the Patriots because you know why? He's been wrong the last three Super Bowls.
That's the first prediction that has actually made me feel good so far this morning.
What an idiot. I would never say that to I would never say that to his
face.
I would never say that to his face.
No.
Big man. All right. All right, but listen to this. Okay, here's the big one. Recently on the Jim Gray podcast, Tom Brady created a firestorm for Patriots Nation.
I just think if these two teams play 10 times, the Seattle probably wins 6 and New England probably wins 4. The Patriots are a bit of an underdog. That's what I'm saying. They're going to have to play their very best game of the year, and they're going to lay it out on the field, so may the best team win.
That's a pick. That says the Seahawks most likely win. Charlie and Amanda, I got to go back, though, because, again, I drank the Kool-Aid to that tarot card reader in the last hour. Come on, we have to. That reader also said that she envisioned there would be 2 fumbles in the game, and also multiple card readers that I watched on the internet say there was going to be a wildly controversial moment in the game, like a game-deciding call.
No, thanks. No, I'm nervous again.
What is a catch? Should we just put that out there in the universe now? Like it hasn't been a problem the last couple of weeks.
Coming up at 8:30, Mayor Katie Wilson has finalized her bet with Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. I got the inside scoop on that one. No one else has it. We've got it coming up.
Okay, thank you. Cal Raleigh from the Mariners spending the last of his offseason at a celebrity golf tournament in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Please welcome from the Seattle Mariners, the big jumper, Cal Raleigh.
AZ Central Sports spotted him repping the Seahawks. He threw on a jersey in front of the crowded 16th hole. He says he's adopted the team since being drafted by the M's in 2018.
And Governor Bob Ferguson added a last-minute meeting to his calendar with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. They're going to meet today at about 11:15. Before Sonics fans get too excited, the governor's office has not released any details on what the meeting's about. We have reached out. We'll let you know when we hear about it. But Ferguson is, as you know, a basketball fan, and he's expressed support for bringing back an NBA team.
Okay. And a founding member of the Fifth Dimension has died. Here's CBS's Deborah Rodriguez.
Lamont McLemore and his R&B group won 6 Grammy Awards, including Record of the Year twice. The first for 1967's Up, Up and Away. The second for the 1969 mashup from the musical Hair that spent 6 weeks at number 1. His family says Macklemore died at his home in Las Vegas after suffering a stroke. He was 90. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
It's 8:12. That's time for a check on the weather now. And for that, here's KIRO 7 TV's Nick Allard.
A lot of fog this morning, especially north and south of Seattle. The fog will lift, though, but the dense fog advisory continues until 9. And then we're going to see sunshine developing. Not quite at 9, of course, but more like into the early afternoon. We'll see sunshine and highs in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Same idea tomorrow. Really about the same temp, just slightly less at about 58 to 59. And then Saturday, increasing rain, a little bit breezy with decreasing rain on Super Bowl Sunday. So both days are wet, but Sunday I think the rainy conditions are in the morning and then it's fewer showers in the afternoon. And we cool off a lot with highs, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the upper 40s and lower 50s. A little moisture to start the week, but then we're dry again till about Friday, and that would mean more snow on the mountains.
Right now, we are seeing clouds and fog in areas. It's 42 in Seattle.
8:13. Let's go to Chris Sullivan for traffic on the 3s.
And my drivers, like Sue, say it's not as foggy down in the South Sound as it is in other spots, but it is definitely on the north end. It definitely is over the Sound and over the Kitsap Peninsula because the fog has knocked out 2 ferry service routes this morning. The biggest is the Edmonds-Kingston run. It's out because it's just too foggy to run safely. Port Townsend, Coupeville also canceled at this point because of the fog. We have a 90-minute wait at the Mukilteo Clinton run. That's not blamed on the fog. We have had a boat out since yesterday, so only one boat there. By the way, it's going to be very difficult to get from Poulsbo over to Kingston at this point anyway because a crash blocks 104 in its entirety at this point. So pretty nasty over there. This side of the water, Federal Way to Seattle's running 45 minutes. That is a 10 to 12-minute faster trip than normal. That's because we don't have the forced merge and the express lanes are open in the northbound direction. Because they're open that direction, we have an hour and a half, though, from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Renton to Bellevue is about 35 minutes. Valley Freeway's picking up the pace a bit. Back under an hour, probably 52 minutes to go from Puyallup to Renton. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
8:15 now. The first big deadline of the legislative session has come and gone, and a lot of bills didn't make it.
Let's break them down with Paul Query, publisher of the Washington Observer on Substack. Paul, good morning. Why don't we start by breaking down some of the big bills that went down with no vote? How about the 32-hour work week? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, that's a proposal that a lot of folks, kind of wish for on the left, and a lot of working stiffs would like to get paid more overtime or work fewer hours. But that one was not really going anywhere. The employer community came out pretty strongly against it.
We had Jerry Cornfield on with us, your colleague, and Jerry was telling us that while Sean Scott is a freshman in the state legislature right now, he is slowly building a base of support. He's behind the 32-hour work week, a couple of those other measures. What are you seeing with Sean Scott in terms of how his star is starting to rise?
Yeah, he's, really kind of the only straight up socialist in the legislature. He represents, the most progressive district in the state, in the sort of Capitol Hill area of Seattle, and his folks are behind those kinds of ideas. And, he's clearly, sort of pushing the envelope on the progressive end. I mean, thus far his signature stuff hasn't really, it hasn't gone, that far, but I think that the legislature has been trending in that direction for several years now. So, folks who are willing to push that envelope are definitely being heard these days.
Another one that stalled out yesterday was the bill that would block police departments from hiring new ICE agents. What happened with that?
That's one of those sort of getting in the affairs of police departments. And I think that was, folks were probably hearing a lot from their local law enforcement agencies. Recruiting police officers has been a real problem for departments around the state, especially Seattle, which I believe is still hundreds of officers short of what they're looking for. So, that's the kind of thing that, you hear a lot of quiet opposition to bills like that, even though, it might sort of beat the moment in terms of the politics.
Paul, I know you hang on my every word. HB 2489 was the subject of my commentary this morning. Still very much alive. You probably don't have the number memorized. This is the one that would really limit the ability of cities and counties to clear homeless encampments. Seems to have plenty of support from the Democrats who are in charge of the state legislature. What are you seeing with that bill?
I haven't been tracking that one closely, but I will say that one of the most potent lobbies in the legislature is the Association of Washington Cities. We host those folks every year at our policy conference. Every member of the legislature's got at least one city talking in their ear, and some of them have multiple cities. So at the end of the day, the name of the game is usually that the cities win.
How do I get an invite to this, Paul? Do I need to learn a special handshake?
No, you're on the list, my friend.
How about the initiatives? A couple of them in Olympia, two big ones, the Parents' Bill of Rights and the ban on trans athletes in high school girls' sports. So what are you hearing about those?
Well, the progressive majority in the legislature is not in favor of either of those initiatives. They've declined to hear them. There was sort of a kind of rally forum that was held in conjunction with the Republican minority yesterday, I believe, maybe the day before, and pretty substantial turnout, big crowd on the Capitol steps. I think that there's going to be a lot of noise around those as the session goes on, but I don't see the legislature taking them up, so that's going to come before the voters in the fall.
How unusual is that for the legislature not to take up an initiative that has been brought to them?
Historically, they don't do much with initiatives to the legislature, but in many cases, there's at least kind of a pro forma hearing about the measure before they just kind of ignore it and let it go to the ballot. My understanding is there have been instances in the past where initiatives to the legislature have not been heard, but I don't recall seeing that in my time, which has now been many years.
I think what's been generating the most buzz is the so-called millionaires tax, and the governor says, hey, it's a start, but I'm not going to support it in its current form. Were you surprised by his reaction?
Not really. I mean, the governor picked a fight with the legislature over budgetary and taxation issues last year. Didn't actually go that well for him. This argument is sort of mostly about what to do with the money. The governor himself has championed the wealth tax twice in the last couple of months. The question is how much of that money to sort of return to people in the form of tax relief elsewhere in the tax system. And the governor's pushing for a larger increase in the working families tax credit and a larger exemption for small businesses from the B&O tax. The legislatures, the Democrats who are pushing this in the legislature, are pushing back on that idea because what they're really looking for is, an ample supply of money to pay for all the stuff that the state's on the hook for. And, in their world, giving a bunch of that money back in the form of tax relief, sort of defeats the purpose of raising taxes in the first place.
Paul, you were able to get a glance at the draft of the income tax proposal before it was released this week. And you and I both know in that draft, it didn't have Section 1007, which included the necessity clause, meaning now if this were to pass, it cannot go to a referendum. Were you surprised to see that necessity clause added?
Oh, not at all. I thought that was always going to happen. I mean, I think that assuming this tax passes in Olympia, I think it winds up on the ballot one way or the other. But there's no way that the Democrats who are in charge down there were going to make it easy on anyone to get it on the ballot. And so the result of that is you just need twice as many signatures to force an initiative, and that's a harder sell for the voters because in the initiative you'd be if you put a repeal initiative on the ballot in the fall, then the voters have to vote yes to repeal the bill, and it's easier to get voters to vote no, which is how it would work if they forced a referendum vote.
Okay, so
no, I wasn't surprised at all.
All right, Paul, we have coming up a couple more hard deadlines. We have a deadline Monday. That is one of the deadlines for bills to move forward, and another one February 17th. What are you watching for in these next 12 days or so?
So I really always kind of watch how sort of money and influence gets used to move stuff through these last two. I mean, through these next two deadlines. The one that's coming up on Monday is what's called the fiscal cutoff, and that's bills have to pass either Senate Ways and Means or House Appropriations, and those committees are supposed to decide whether or not this is something that we can afford as a state. And money's tight, so you can expect a lot of stuff to fall by the wayside. And then the other deadline you refer to is the House of Origin cutoff, which is House bills have to pass the House, Senate bills have to pass the House. Excuse me. And a tremendous amount of effort gets used to kind of kill bills during that process. And we'll be keeping a close eye on, a lot of interesting stuff that probably, might die at that deadline. Time starts to get tight, especially when the legislature's tackling really controversial things.
Speaking of time, we're about out of it. But as the publisher of the Washington Observer, Paul, can you make a prediction for Sunday?
Oh, I've got the Hawks all the way.
Blowout?
Oh, I think it'll be a little tighter. But I think our defense, I just don't think New England's going to be able to hang.
Awesome.
All right.
We'll chat again next week.
Find some wood to knock on. Paul Query, the publisher of the Washington Observer on Substack. Paul, thanks for your time this morning. It's 8:23. Let's check in with Sully for traffic.
Fog continues to be an issue for visibility on this side of the water. Over the water, it's making it very difficult to drive a ferry boat. In fact, we've canceled the Edmond-Kingston run until the fog clears. Canceled the Port Townsend-Coupeville until the fog clears. Another ferry issue that we're dealing with is the Mukilteo-Clinton run only has one boat until this afternoon, so there are 90-minute waits at either side of that. Speaking of Kingston, you can't even really get there from Polsbo on the main drag at this point. If you have a chance, bail at Gunderson Road and then work your way up the backside because 104 is blocked right there at the 304-104 interchange, kind of right by the Chevron. That's for an injury semi versus a power pole issue, and we're starting to see a pretty big backup there on Bond Road. That's the road that's blocked. This side of the water, we're looking at hour and 20-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle looks so good at this point. I mean, it's heavy at the north end, don't get me wrong, but it's running 45 minutes. The average time for this is usually about an hour and 5. So that's way ahead of schedule, which is great. Rented to Bellevue, about 40 minutes now. Behind that, the Valley Freeway is cleaned out nicely, back to 45 as well. This report brought to you by Subaru Puyallup. It's about the people at Subaru Puyallup. Friendly, knowledgeable experts who listen and continue stress-free pricing and transparency through ownership. SubaruPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership.
Clouds and fog this morning. Sunshine for the afternoon. Highs both days around 60. It's 42 in Seattle right now.
Well, coming up, Luke with a preview of the Super Bowl and Sully's choke point. Should motorcycles be allowed to ride on the shoulder? We'll talk about it at 8:35 on Seattle's Morning News.
We are going to the Super Bowl! And the home of the Seahawks, KIRO Newsradio is there.
Can you believe it?
All week long, G. Scott broadcasts live from Radio Row in San Francisco during the G and Ursula Show. Weekdays 9 to noon.
It is a circus like you have never seen.
And Luke Ducey will be on the ground.
I am on the lookout for everything 12s.
From the only station where you hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO News Radio.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700.
DayandNight.net. The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Olympic Hot Tub celebrates Seattle's star team with a massive blue and green savings blitz. Champion-level wellness at winning savings on saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges through Sunday. Go to olympichottub.com. Better you, better life. Go Seattle.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:31, and we are just a few days away from kickoff of Super Bowl 60.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with the latest headlines and Mayor Katie Wilson's bet with the mayor of Boston.
Yeah, it's official. Kind of. A spokesperson for the mayor, Mayor Wilson, tells me they have narrowed down her bet with Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. Last week, I told you Mayor Wilson was in negotiations.
There's been some talk of Dungeness crab and lobster. Also some talk about, wearing each other's jerseys while riding public transit.
Well, the spokesperson tells me the jersey thing is out, and it looks like it's going to be Dungeness crab versus lobster from Boston, which is actually probably going to be from Maine, really. But still tastes yummy with a little melted butter, doesn't it? Yes, it does.
And we go back. This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we brought our hands.
The music from Lumen Field. We hear that a lot during Seahawks games. Well, we've covered a lot of predictions this morning. National media picks are in as well. I recently asked Sports Illustrated senior writer Greg Bishop about his prediction.
I like the Seahawks. To me, when I look at Seattle, they can loosen up New England's defensive structure by running the ball. To me, K9's going to be hugely important in this game.
And how about the Hawks defense?
Other than the Rams, they've given up 1 touchdown in 2 months. And that's just nuts. I've had Buddy Ryan even draw the 46 defense in my notebook, but I've never seen something like that. Nick Emmanwori, I think, is the most versatile player in the NFL, period.
Yeah, he is. That's not a jinx. It's fine.
He's injured.
They're saying that because we are monitoring his ankle. He sprained it or did something to it. I don't know what he did to it, but he did something to it during practice yesterday at San Jose State University. There are a lot of ligaments and tendons in the ankle. They're fine.
He'll be
fine. He's fine.
Thanks, Dr. Ducey.
He's fine.
We're going to hear from G. Scott on that. He has a very specific opinion.
Oh, good.
Emmanwori injury.
So, Greg Bishop's final prediction. You ready for this?
Short of something unusual happening, I think the Seahawks win this game by 10 to 20 points.
Why? I know.
Man.
Him, though, he and the former NFL players. I've been going through their sound bites earlier today. They're all the people in the know. Are all calling for a blowout in this game, not just a close game. It's Vegas that has it. Not really that close. It's not 2 or 3 points. It's 4.5 points.
You're actually killing producer David right now.
I feel sick to my stomach thinking about it.
All right, there you have it. Hey, folks, I'm heading to the airport after this.
Fun. You're going to have a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll see you tomorrow morning from San Francisco. I'll be on the show. I'm going to be reporting everything 12s. So I'm going down to meet the greatest fans in the world, and I cannot wait. We all can't wait. You hear more from San Francisco tomorrow.
See!
Hawks!
Safe travels, Luke.
It's 8:34. Sully has traffic for us.
Fog is an issue today, primarily for those of you trying to get across the ferries. Edmond, Kingston out, Port Townsend, Coupeville out because of the fog that we have. We also have a 90-minute wait at either Mukilteo Clinton because there's only one boat operating on that particular run. And for those of you trying to get over to Kingston or down through Port Gamble, we've got a pretty nasty crash that has Bond Road blocked, so planned on some delays in that general vicinity. Rest of the map, not too bad. Renton to Bellevue, 35 minutes, but behind that, only 45 from Puyallup to Renton. I-5 looks really good through Federal Way all the way up to about the middle of Boeing Field, and from there on up, it's off and on heavy, but we're still running 45 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. Lake Bridges, a little westbound slowing, but manageable. This traffic report brought to you by Simply Seattle. Gear up for the big game at Simply Seattle. Shop official Seahawks playoff gear. Custom Simply original design. Shop in-store online. Enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree now at simplyseattle.com.
We're seeing clouds this morning, thick fog in spots. It'll be the same tomorrow, but eventually right around 60 in the sunshine for the afternoons. The rain returns on Saturday. Right now in Seattle, it's 42.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Solomon.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
So how many times have you been stuck in traffic and had a motorcycle pass you between the lanes or on the shoulder?
Too darn many. Both are illegal in Washington, but that might be changing.
Sully is here with details.
And if you're a rider, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are. We have a few here in the newsroom. You probably don't understand how dangerous it can be stuck in slow or bumper-to-bumper traffic. Your engine can overheat, just like Destiny in Seattle just told me about her experiences being stuck on 405 on the text line. And there's also a great risk of being hit from behind in cars not paying attention in that bumper-to-bumper condition. That's why you see so many riders breaking the law by lane splitting or riding on the shoulder. And let's be honest, too, it does save those riders a bunch of time. State Representative Ed Orcutt's been pushing to allow shoulder driving for motorcycles for a few sessions. His bill, HB 1367, will be heard today in the legislature. This was his testimony on the bill last year.
I don't like lane splitting. I think it's dangerous, and I have concern that somebody's going to get squished between a couple of cars if they're doing lane splitting in that situation. But you know, they're still trying to hold that bike up. They still got that strain. So what is an alternative solution? And that's what led me to this bill, is to allow the shoulder driving.
Representative Orcutt's bill would allow motorcycles to use the right shoulder, only the right shoulder, during slow traffic where the average speeds have dropped to 25 miles an hour or below. This would only be allowed on freeways or major highways. Limited access roads is what they call them. Riders would not be able to go faster than 10 miles an hour over that slowed traffic. Shoulders would need to be at least 4 feet wide, and riders must re-enter the traffic lanes to get around emergencies on the shoulder or debris.
A motorcycle must re-enter traffic lanes if the shoulder is occupied by a parked vehicle, emergency vehicle, tow truck, or other vehicle providing roadside assistance until the motorcycle is safely past the obstruction.
Riders would also have to exit from the shoulder at the next off-ramp.
This also says that you have to, at the next exit, where there's an alternative route, then they have to get off. So they can't do this for 20 or 30 miles up I-5.
And riders would assume liability for any damage incurred by traveling on the shoulder. This rider from Abate, Washington, testified last year that he tried shoulder riding where it was legal in Hawaii.
This works. It's safe. And if you've ever seen a motorcycle rear-ended by a vehicle, this is a very dangerous situation. 7 to 11% of accidents with motorcycles are rear-ending. And that may be just a fender bender for a car, but for a motorcycle, it's a life and death situation.
Fellow Abate, Washington rider Larry Walker had this to say.
Getting hit from behind is probably not a really good thing for a motorcycle. This gets us out of that mix and also allows us to keep proceeding forward. Even if a motorcycle is water-cooled, those fans on the radiators are not good enough to keep that engine cool. So this allows us to get airflow across there.
Bill also requires the state to add shoulder driving, right shoulder driving, to driver's education, the manuals. There'd be public education, too. This bill didn't make it out of committee last session because there were some very important safety concerns from the State Patrol and WSDOT, primarily around what do you do if there's debris on the side? What do you do if the shoulder's not as big as it should be? Those have all now been addressed with new language, and that's why they're hearing it again today.
Sully, when you are reporting on this, let me just make sure I'm clear. This is not lane splitting.
No, lane splitting is when the cars are moving at a slow speed, you're going in between the lanes of them. Lane filtering is when you're at a dead stop and the bikes go in between you. They usually go up to like the front of this is in like a red light situation where they can go. This is driving on the shoulder only, the right shoulder only, in that really slow stop and go. And they would have to get back into the travel lanes in those circumstances where the shoulder is blocked for pretty much anything now. So yeah, very limited space. But again, not lane splitting, not lane filtering, right shoulder driving only. And again, this is on limited access roads. We're talking 2 or 3 lanes in the same direction, like a freeway or a highway.
Okay. Well, fog is making traffic a hassle. You will have traffic for us coming up in about 3 minutes.
Since the beginning, 50 years ago, KIRO has been the only place where the 12s have listened to the Seahawks.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks. Steve Rabel made the catch.
And Sunday, the tradition continues.
The Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl.
When Steve Rabel and Dave Wyman bring you the call of Super Bowl 60 between the Seahawks and the Patriots. And like every other Seahawks game, the only place you'll hear it is KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
A lot of businesses are looking ahead for guidance and the right partners in the new year, and the right bank can make a difference, right, Brad?
That's right, Dave. And WaFd Bank can help with business checking, express loans, lines of credit, business credit cards, and so much more. WaFd Bank is also an SBA preferred lender, so you can grow with confidence.
What about when you need help with something? In this digital age, does WaFd have an actual person available?
Absolutely. Our friendly and knowledgeable local business bankers are ready and waiting to help you with whatever your business might need. From day one, our bankers get to know you and your business to build a strong foundation for future success. This especially helps when it's time to apply for loans and to spot gaps in your business operations, so we can recommend the service that would be most helpful.
And to learn more, visit wafedbank.com or visit your local branch. Discover why they were awarded Best Bank multiple years in a row by numerous financial publications. WaFd Bank, built for business. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Loan subject to credit approval. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply.
Adrian here from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Winter might seem like an odd time to replace your windows, but now is when you get the best deals. Our Leak Armor installation team will keep your home warm and dry while installing beautiful, new energy-efficient windows. You'll feel the difference right away. Quieter rooms, lower energy bills, and a more comfortable home.
Visit Lake Washington Windows and Doors at the home shows to get 20% off, plus 12 months, same as cash financing. Or go to lakewashingtonwindows.com.
It's 8:43, time for traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And it just got confirmation from the State Ferry Service that the Edmond-Kingston run is still out of service because of the fog. We had a couple listeners saying that they saw the boats taking off, and they may just be moving them around. I'm not sure whenever service returns, but the State Ferry Service says Edmond-Kingston still out because of fog. Port Townsend, Coopville still out as well. Mukilteo Clinton only has one boat. That's because it's out of service from yesterday. 90-minute waits at either side of the dock there, or either side of the run. By the way, if you're trying to get over to Kingston, it's going to be very difficult if you're coming out of Poulsbo. Bond Road is blocked, so if you're going up over the top, that's going to be a problem. Bang a right at Gunderson and then work your way to Kingston that way. This was for a semi-crash that took out a power pole and had some injuries, so just keep that in mind. Freeways over here on this side of the water are not terrible. I mean, coming out of the north end because because of the lane configuration, yeah, obviously we're going to have an hour and 5-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue, so behind schedule by about 20 minutes. 99 is really jammed up from Green Lake all the way down. But coming the other way, we're at 45 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. That's 15 minutes faster than normal. Valley Freeway, a little over 45 now because we're seeing some late arrivers from 180th on in. Rented to Bellevue is about 35. The Lake Bridges are actually doing okay. This traffic report brought to you by me, KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Eventually, we're going to see sunshine again for today and tomorrow afternoons, warming up to about 60, but we do have to get through the clouds and pretty thick fog in spots both days. Then Saturday, it's going to start raining. 53 on Saturday. The rain will pick up throughout the day. Sunday, you'll wake up to some rain, tapering off to showers by afternoon. Right now, it's 42 in Seattle.
Coming up, G. Scott is on Radio Row down in San Jose for Super Bowl 60. He joins us live next on Seattle's Morning News.
If you're wearing glasses or contacts, but you need reading glasses or bifocals now, you need to join Drs. Kopstein and King for the K2 Vision RLE live webinar today at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE. This free webinar is a perfect opportunity to meet the doctors and have them answer all your questions about K2 Vision RLE. Questions like, what is K2 Vision RLE? How long is the procedure and recovery time? Why can't you develop a cataract after having RLE? These questions and more will be covered today at noon during the K2 Vision RLE free live webinar. K2 Vision surgeons have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Plus, no more cataracts. Don't miss this free live webinar today at noon. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
Get ready, because it's here. The first huge public online auction of the new year from the James G. Murphy Company, and it's underway now. We're stacked and packed with a vast assortment of heavy construction equipment, trucks, trailers, and more, like 17 excavators, 6 dozers, including a 2012 John Deere 700K XLT, 4 wheel loaders, a grader, a 2021 Kenworth T270 propane delivery truck, a 2023 Volvo Auto Transporter, 6 Peterbilt 567 tractors, 6 dump trucks, forklifts, boom lifts, loaders, graders, and utility trucks. But wait, there's more, like over 100 unused gas-powered excavators, flatbed trucks, and on and on. We are on fire with gear. Preview all items Tuesday and Wednesday, February 10th and 11th at our location in Marysville. Do not miss the first huge public online auction of the new year. Check MurphyAuction.com for all details. MurphyAuction.com. MurphyAuction.com.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
All right, here we go. He's our eyes and ears down in the Bay Area on Radio Row.
He is also the host of the Reset podcast and co-host of the G and Ursula Show.
Good morning, G. So the big news we've been following this morning, potential injury to Nick Imanwuri, an ankle injury of some kind. He was seen limping into the hotel yesterday. Are you worried?
I get it.
No, wow. First, I want to say good morning to you. Second, I want to say, sure. That's not the news you wanted to hear. You don't want any type of news like that. That's a little nerve-wracking considering what he brings to this team and especially to that defense. I'm worried. I just hope that he's able to play. I hope that he's okay. am I really that much of concern? I always believe that the Seahawks are going to make it right because they always do, right? And I just believe that while there is concern, I'm going to think more positive. I had more concern during the whole thing with Sam Darnold and what was going on with the oblique. I was nervous then. I was trying my best to be positive. Today, I'm not really. I think that, okay, we don't really know enough news right now, and I think it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay to the fact that I think maybe he might be able to play out there. That's one. But two, more importantly, even if he's not able to play, this team has gone through adversity before. They've been without Julian Love. They've been without Ernest Jones IV. They've been without Devin Witherspoon. So they have gone through that adversity, and because this team is so built around scheme and built around playing together, that whoever the person is that would come in and step up, they would do just that job. No matter what, game's going to be played on Sunday, and I still believe the Seahawks are going to be hoisting that trophy.
All right, David, are you feeling better after that?
Yeah, and also, wouldn't you agree that for ankle injuries specifically, and we don't want to get too much into what the drugs are that players sometimes are given for pain reduction and stuff, aren't those sorts of injuries a little more easily managed kind of in-game with those sorts of shots?
Well, sure.
Than an oblique injury, I mean.
Depending on the grade. I mean, I would say this, David, to make you feel a little bit better. I'd rather us be talking about ankle than hamstring. Right? Those hamstrings, man, the vitamin T can't do too much during that situation. But when this news came out, the first thing I thought of, I sat there because I was in my hotel room when I heard the news and I read the news, and I was like, wow, this is deja vu all over again. This literally happened 11 years ago on the Friday. It was on a Friday before the game against the Patriots when Cam Chancellor had the injury in practice. He had a grade 2 MCL. He had a little bit of MCL left that he was able to play on. Cam Chancellor was not 100% in that game, but he had an injury in practice on the Friday before the Super Bowl.
Who are some of the people you've been talking to since you've been down there on Radio Row and we last talked, G?
Well, I've talked to a lot of people, but Rob Parker, if you guys can look him up, he is something else. I don't know if you guys got the sound. You want to play some of what Rob Parker had to say?
Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, not first ballot Hall of Famers. Your thoughts?
I think it's spot on. I give the voters credit for not picking those guys. They're serial cheaters, the whole franchise, and I want us to be consistent. If you don't want Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame, and you don't want Pete Rose, and you don't want Roger Clemens, then Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, and Tom Brady shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame either.
Oh, ouch.
Now let me tell you why that cut is so important that it had to be played. Do you guys know how many people have hit me up on the side, off the record, and they're saying he's right? There's so many people that are saying if you don't have Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame, you don't have Roger Clemens in the Hall of Fame, then how can you have Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame, Robert Kraft in the Hall of Fame? Do you agree with this, Charlie?
I think they belong in the Hall. I just do. The track record of success with that organization. Look how many rings they're wearing. I know I get upset about Deflategate, about the call sign, the signal stealing, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they're legends. They're legends.
So it's okay to cheat?
I'm not saying that.
That's what you're saying, Chuck.
Wow.
I don't know. You tell me what you're saying. So it okay to cheat? Is it okay to cheat a little or a lot? Which one?
That would mean essentially that you are saying that the New England Patriots are not, the legitimate winners of how many Super Bowls over that time? I don't want to say that.
Either way,
yeah.
That's why it's such a good conversation, and that's why people are hitting me up. So I hope people listening can have that conversation in their homes or at work because it's a conversation.
All right, G, what are you looking forward to today?
Being kicked out by Manda. Today at 9:30, Jermaine Kearse is going to join the G and Ursula show. So talking to Jermaine, let's get his take. And I'm going to ask him, what is going through the minds of the Seahawks right now on a Thursday before the Super Bowl?
All right, G. Scott, now you may be excused. We'll talk again soon.
Oh, see y'all.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon here on KIRO News Radio. Sully, you have traffic.
Yeah, I do, and it just has to be said. Ty Okada will be fine if he to step in for
He'll be okay with Okada.
Yeah, Okada started 8 games. He's the man. Fog still causing problems across the ferry. Edmonds, Kingston out. Port Townsend, Coupeville out because of fog. Still have hour and 10-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue, but the other travel times are coming down. 35 Renton to Bellevue, 40 up the valley. Federal Way to Seattle running 15 minutes faster, 45 minutes on that trip. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. About people at Subaru of Puyallup, President's Day, enjoy stress-free specials on all new vehicles. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Sunshine eventually today and tomorrow with highs around 60, 42 right now.
Again on the G and Ursula show, 9:30, Seahawks legend Jermaine Kearse joins the show. Stay tuned on KIRO News Radio.
Does my voice sound pretty good?
Better than I thought it would.
The John Curley Show.
I was really trying to work with my diaphragm.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I was screaming as everybody else was screaming, and all of a sudden the muscles in my neck tightened up and it shut off blood in my head. I thought I almost passed out. I was so close.
What if you died?
Well, I would have been paying no attention to me. Like, get up, Dad.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
We live here in Washington. I travel all over the state for work.
Affordable short-term rentals help us stay together and make Hazel feel at home.
Now Olympia is considering a huge tax increase on short-term rentals,
pricing us and other families out, since more than half of short-term rentals here are used by Washingtonians.
Costs on everything are going up.
Please tell legislators not to make our trips more expensive too.
Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive. Host PAC.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
Day and night, but never
Save $1,700 when you have day and night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700.
Dayandnight.net. Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
3 more days until Super Bowl 60. The only station where you hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO FM.